Here's a guy that apparently kills people on an island.
I hear Tell Walter was on with Frank and Martin yesterday.
I heard some of that. Yeah.
And he attacked my golf game.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
I don't know if we can pull that audio. Yeah, I heard.
He's got some nerve.
Thank you very much. So we'll get to the bottom of that. Plus, we have Lisa Ann on in the 9 o'clock hour. I got to figure out what's going on with Lana Rhodes falling into Tampa Bay. And she took a shot at Mia Khalifa, which really pleased Iggy. And then also who her value play is for DraftKings this week. We do have the TMA DraftKings game. We have filled it up every week, 300 entries, and we've filled it up every week. Doug, let's keep the streak going. It's at the top of the fan page. Just click that link. Up to 5 teams per person can enter. It's $10 a team. First place wins $300, and we already have 142 of the 300 spots filled. So ship that. Lisa Ann will give you pro tips on that coming up. That's at 9:15. Then the Hot Shots email today. Matt, who bowls at Hanks, is your leader. He has a nice lead of 1 in the October email of the day competition. Don't forget that Reyka Vodka is the official vodka of the Ryan Kelly Morning After. So if you're going to pony up here at Kirkwood Brewhouse this weekend at the patio and have yourself a taste on these beautiful weekend in October, make sure you have a Reyka Vodka. Skal, cheers in Icelandic, Doug.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. I hear it about every day. I don't really yell. In Minnesota, they say Skol Vikings.
I wonder what Janie the Lesbian
But we're saying
says.
Skal?
Maybe it's Skull. I should text her, but she doesn't answer my text anymore now that Anne-Marie had a baby.
Okay.
Telling you there's something there. I'm just telling you there is.
She's disappointed in you?
I think now it's like, oh, they really are breeders. You know? Because we bred.
Right.
She thought I might be for them. She was hoping Anna-Marie was for them. And instead we bred.
Well, I thought she had just fallen in love with this Viking queen.
That's right.
Okay. Well, maybe that's where her attention's going. And not everyone in the world is thinking about you all the time.
I don't understand.
And that's a bizarre concept.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here with a great TMA sponsor, and that is Longo Biggs Injury Law Firm. And you may hear a bunch of out-of-state law firms advertising here and there all over on billboards and so on and so forth. But the thing is, oftentimes their goal is to just settle and move on, and that's not what you guys do.
Yeah, this is CD Longo, and you hear us talking a lot about maximizing the value of cases, but what does that actually mean? Well, as Tim said, there's lots of personal injury lawyers in St. Louis, and everyone handles cases differently. We focus on getting the highest dollar amount for your injuries, not just getting a resolution quickly. We're constantly tracking all the settlements and verdicts in the area. This helps us advise our clients on whether a settlement offer is too low. And if the amount of compensation being offered is too low, we are happy to file lawsuits and proceed to trial to ensure our clients receive an amount that is fair. Visit our website or Google us at Longo Biggs Injury Law.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day. Rise and shine, St. Louis. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. At the Morning After STL on YouTube and on TMASTL.com with Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Iggy Strode, the Plowboy, and Action Jackson.
7:07 in St. Louis. You're listening to the Ryan Kelly Morning After. Welcome to the Michelob Ultra Studios. It is the Munganess St. Louis Acura and Alton Toyota 7 o'clock hour, and you are welcome to participate in said radio program. Why don't you watch on YouTube and have a chat? Let's chat with the YouTube people. How does that feel?
Count me in.
All right, you're in. YouTube.com/TMASTL. Subscribe to it. 4,650 friends of the Feather have done so. YouTube.com/TMASTL is how you can participate in said chat. And you can text into the EDF group text inbox 314-881-TMA5. Email in for our Design Air heating and cooling email of the day. Design Air is online at designairservice.com. And I see temperatures getting to 102 today, according to the iPhone app. So if you run into air conditioning problems today, make sure you go to designairservice.com. I'm a client. Doug Vaughn is a client. And we recommend you become a client as well. All you do is go to designairservice.com and you click on the Book Now tab, and they will be out there quick, fast, and in a hurry. And the next thing you know is it's all taken care of because Design Air is the best. Seth Goldcamp and his staff pride themselves on taking care of our listeners very quickly. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling. Online at designairservice.com. HVAC.com, the official HVAC provider of TMA and the Tim McKernan Show podcast. It's Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling. You're also welcome to call in 636-900-4TMA. That is how you can participate in the presentation. I see KG in O-Town has entered the chat, even though he's in the Horton Watkins studios. And he says he's a 37-year-old male and he's in Creve Coeur. So he gave his age, sex, and location if anybody else would like to cyber. It'd be fun if guys started cybering in the YouTube chat.
That's what I'm hoping for. First time I saw that was when I was in the AOL chat rooms. People would always say ASL.
Did you know what it meant right away?
Not right away, no.
I don't even know what it means now.
Is that right?
ASL?
Age, sex, location.
Oh.
Just putting feelers out there in the chat room.
I've never really looked for hot love on
the chat?
On the chat or message board.
Does that still go on?
Reddit thread.
Well, you weren't looking for chat. You're looking for pictures.
But I feel like now it's so easy to grab pictures.
Well, yeah, now I'm talking about back when the internet just started and there wasn't, you couldn't like go searching on Google for porn.
Nice.
So you got a naked
That Persian
picture.
kitty.
When did that break? When was like the moment where that opened up? When did internet porn become all the rage?
I think it was in my early 20s, so I don't know. Early 80s, maybe?
That's when internet porn became...
No, that's when AOL chat room was big.
Oh, okay.
In early 80s?
I think whenever the internet started, because everybody was on AOL. That
It was the
only-
mid-90s.
Was it?
Oh.
I guess it was in my 40s.
All the same.
I actually dropped out of a class at the University of Missouri because the professor wanted everything to be done via email. And I go, this email thing, I don't understand this.
You sold it
I
short.
don't want to mess with this. Had I participated in the class, maybe I would actually have those 8 final credit hours. Let's see what we got here. Bill's wife. I'm a 31-year-old female in Creve Coeur. There you go. Jackson still believes Bill's wife is a woman. Plowhawk, is Bill's wife a woman?
I mean, I don't think she's real.
I do.
Well, you mean, but is she a woman? You just said she's not real, so.
This person he's describing is a non-existent human. He may have a wife,
Bill
may, but not the sporting personality as which he's painting on the text line.
You're going to find yourself on the wrong side of history on this one, Plowsy.
You really think,
agree
KG in
more.
O-Town, that Bill's wife is a woman?
100%.
I want to smoke this out today. And when I try to smoke things out, I just pay. I'm like Mel Gibson in Ransom. They know I'll pay. How can I get this done? It's worth it to me to end this once and for all. Because I trust your intuition. I have great deal of respect for you, Jackson.
Uh-huh.
And KG in O-Town, for that matter. And I think you guys are so wrong on it, but it's the fact that it's the two of you who think so confidently that she's really a woman that gives me pause before I...
You want to wager?
Yes.
All right, let's do it. How are you going to prove it?
I know. That's what I was trying to figure out. How do we actually...
if she calls in.
Call in. You don't even have to go on the air. Just call in and talk to you.
Well, any guy could have his woman call in and
But
say,
we
I'm
have the
Bill's
phone
wife.
number. We have the phone number from the text line. If it's the same number and it calls as a female, I mean, that's about as good as we can do.
I didn't know you got phone numbers on the text inbox.
Do we? I guess so. I just see the name. Yeah, I guess so when they don't have their name stored. But a lot of these guys
Yeah, I mean,
have burner phones, or they create the fake number thing.
it's a tough...
It's quite a hobby when you're in your 30s and, you know.
Yeah, short of, well, you know, some girl could come in and say, I'm Bill's wife. You still can't prove it.
Bill's wife says she's married to Bill, number one.
Oh,
Yeah.
that proves it.
Number two is inked up, has sent in an image before.
There's an image out right there in the early parts of June that really almost confirm it completely to me.
Really?
Look at that hand on June 1st.
Yeah.
Look at that hand on June 1st is what it says. I see. Okay, that's so then this would have to match up with the other tattoos if she were to send this in. And Bill himself is wearing suspenders in this wedding pic. Plowhawk, do you have a problem with that?
I've got a problem with all of this. Being topic one.
I've seen that picture before. I
Yeah,
don't know
unless
where.
probably on the internet. If you go to somebody's Facebook page, like you can go to my Facebook page and take all of my pictures. I don't have anything private.
I can't.
So why?
You blocked me, dog.
Did
You're
I?
blocked?
Oh, yeah.
I thought I unblocked you.
Nah.
Well, send me a friend request. I'll accept.
Oh my God, what a great moment.
Yeah, coming together.
But if you just go to somebody's face, you want to. I don't know why you would go to this whole ruse, but go to a face. I'm going to pretend like I'm a woman for the show, and I'm going to go to somebody's Facebook page. I'm going to grab about 15 pictures of this girl with some guy in it. I'm going to be Bill's wife, and if they ask for pictures, I'll send in these different ones, but you can. Oh, it's the same people. Yeah, you just stole them from Facebook.
I'm so confused as to why you two really believe it. That's the thing that throws me off. Otherwise, I'd be like, okay, let's bet a huge amount of money and knock this out.
There was something right at the onset of Bill Wife's emergence onto the presentation that really convinced me that she was a female, and I can't remember exactly what it was. So it's not great evidence I have, but I do remember. I sound like Marshall right now. I do believe in it.
Here, Bill's wife. Here's what you do. This is really the only way we can do this. You both come in studio and you show us your license. If his name is Bill and you're with him, then we'll believe it. I'll believe it.
There you go.
Nobody's going to go through the whole.
For the record, Bill's wife has gone totally dark ever since I said I'd like to smoke this out today.
I know.
No,
Shocking.
Not helping my case.
Wow.
Right, I'm just so alarmed by it.
Nobody would go through the whole ruse of, all right, we'll pretend, let's be part of this. And some guy named Bill walks in with a license and a girl and says, we're Bill's wife.
Hey, moron, you pretended to be a woman on AOL chat. There's no self-awareness at all with this guy. That is from Ray King.
Well, I never denied that.
Have Bill's wife send in a picture holding a handwritten sign with the specific directions you guys give her.
Again,
from the 847.
Again, any guy listener can have some girl, hey, honey, we're going to screw these guys. Hold the sign up and send in a picture.
But if it comes from the number that we're seeing, that's a tell.
Yeah. We have female listeners, you know.
I know we do.
4. I believe the number is 4. All right, text in Bill's wife, and we can settle this once and for all. But for the record, Bill's wife has gone completely dark from the back now. I have recognizable tattoos. All right.
Actions speak louder than, you know.
Nice. All right. With all of that said, Bill's wife, the action is back on you, and I'm willing to provide financial incentive to try to get this done once and for all. Just because I'm a little somebody's intuition that I think highly of, whether it be yours or mine, is way off on this.
Yeah.
Because I'm so certain it's a guy, and you're so certain it's a woman that I'm confused.
I'm all in.
Wow.
Same.
Every chip
What
I got.
in the hell? And then I feel like KG and O-Town knows something. That's the thing that throws. That's why I give pause, because I think KG and O-Town has more communication with the listeners. He's the darling of the listeners right now. I remember what it was like to be that. It's a long time ago. And when you're the darling of the listeners, you have little pieces of intel. Like Martin and the Cat wouldn't know things, but I would know things at the beginning of the show. And I kind of get the sense that KG and O-Town right now has some knowledge. That's my read, KG and O-Town.
I've never chatted with Bill's wife.
Clip that off.
Have you cybered with her?
Is that her in the bikini?
Excuse me?
Is that her in the bikini?
Oh, guys, just sending pictures of women.
Oh,
yeah,
I don't know.
That really happens.
No, I mean, it'd be wonderful if this was Bill's wife. No, this is Lolo B4 on Instagram.
Oh, I bet you I can find her on OnlyFans.
Make that bet, Tim. It's easy money. Don't worry about the guy who wears yellow diapers and sleeps with 10 other guys in a Smoky Mountain cabin. That's from the 314.
The yellow diaper thing will forever be so strange to me. How someone could think a cummerbund belt is a diaper.
It's over there. Why don't you put it on right now?
So
Is that
beyond
the
me.
one? Is that the actual diaper?
No, but it is exactly what I was wearing. And, like, in what world would this be a diaper?
Well, I think it's the way it hung
It's like
down.
a thong diaper. Like
I remember you going in, almost like you had with the life vest on and that.
I didn't have a life vest and that. I can swim. Like, I'm not.
You have little floaties on your arms?
No, I can swim.
Weren't you there when it happened?
Yeah, I took the picture.
You were
Oh,
almost,
is that right?
And I'm the one who told him to go in.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, I said,
I had such respect for the Plowhawk when he's like, I ain't doing that crap.
yeah,
I'm like, there's a man who's been through it for a decade, and there's poor Jackson. I'm like, God, I got to pull Jackson aside at some point.
already have
So
enough
listen.
pictures.
he was
from
just
the
having
show.
fun and a few cocktails, and he wanted to swim with Mike, Big Mike.
Well, I end up getting wet anyways.
Exactly what I
Mike.
was to do.
I think I got
Mike,
karma.
the guy who's like angry?
No,
Big Mike?
The guy who's
No,
down
the guy
Oh,
there.
the
with
guy
the
from, the audience doesn't know who that is.
Basically.
The larger gentleman who does program, I believe, in Long Island, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, and he
and a
goes-
lot of them. He's enjoying the fruits.
And he goes to every one of those remotes. They have him out there. And he must have a following. I'm friends with him on Facebook. This dude's doing so many commercials, you wouldn't believe it.
Oh, yeah.
It was the jump, too. Your dismount was curious. That's Chairman Steve in Wildwood.
How could someone's dismount be?
Was there a video of your jump into the Caribbean?
Yeah.
Oh, was
yeah.
there? Really?
Yeah, and I feel bad because I'm the one who said I need a picture. So when you jump in, turn backwards to the camera and lift your hands up.
Don't feel bad because some of these asshats are so confused and don't understand anything. Like, it's not anyone's fault. I'd do it again.
You were just
Maybe not.
You were being sporty.
Wow. Somehow they're really on that on Balloon Party too, which surprises me.
Yeah, well, you give them an inch, they'll take a mile.
The best part of the diaper dive was how suave Rick was about it all. That's from Arbor Day.
Didn't you yell "Go Tigers" when you jumped in?
Yeah, well, right off the heels of that Iowa State game.
But you got a boat drink or two in you, and you're doing an Instagram live in the pool with Lisa Ann, and I think you were talking about the Iowa State game. Like right when we got to the hotel. That's
Punched the ticket, man. It was an exciting time.
Oh, you were at that halfway point where we stopped for a beer. Lisa Ann.
Well, Jackson and I were trying to watch it on my phone on that bus ride from Montego Bay to wherever we were going, San Jose Ocho.
Yeah.
I think it was on the TV at that bar that we're at because
we were watching it on the phone.
Lisa Ann was talking to you
Right.
and talking about sleeping in the same bedroom. You're in Jamaica, and you said, "Go Tigers."
Absolutely. My mindset never changed. It was a business trip.
You want that back again?
I could look a lot better now than I do in that
So
photo.
that's the picture in the diaper that caused your 25-pound weight loss.
I wouldn't say it caused it, but it certainly was a big influence. It was like, I looked at that and I was like, oh boy, time to change things around.
God, I honestly didn't even think anything of it.
Yeah,
I really
but
didn't.
I hide it well. I did hide it well.
Ray King has just sent in a picture that says, "I am Bill's wife, taste me." And there's Ray King almost showing his nipples, which makes it. These sad, fat pores are salty that if they jumped into the ocean, they wouldn't have the strength to get back into the boat. That's from Sweet, Sweet Kai, who's texting in from West Virginia.
My guy right there.
Jackson, I'm on your side on this one. You do you, boo. That's from Flip Wilson.
Who also sent in a picture saying I'm Bill's
That's
wife.
correct. A lot of guys sending in pictures.
Well, look, Doug, when they had my friend Ashley was running our last night there. We had the going away party and got up on stage.
Oh, yeah, and she was legitimately
she's fine.
Stunning. Stunning.
But they asked Doug to get on stage, and you got on stage. Nobody's
asked
making
me,
fun
too.
of Doug for getting up there and making an ass of himself.
People made fun of you for getting on stage?
No, I'm saying nobody did, but they make fun of you for jumping in a ocean.
Yeah,
But Doug's up there trying to dance. That was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
I didn't get to see it because I also had to go up there and dance.
That's great.
Yeah, Ashley tried to grab
It's like,
me.
who
I
wants
said,
to
"I'm
make an
good."
ass of themselves? Jackson, you're up.
That was another one to where I'm
There's video of me doing some stupid ass dances during that nitwit thing.
I was air humping Doug.
That's right. Yeah, me,
Yeah,
you, Madison, Anna Marie, we're having a lovely little time. Nobody gives a rip about Mizzou Trashketball if you're in Jamaica with the biggest porn star all time. Jesus, what a boner. That's Eric in the Central West End.
Hey, man.
Kind of agree with that.
Hey, listen, this life chose me, not the other way around.
And then Rick ruined it all by peeing the bed with Lisa Ann next to him. That's from Uncle Cucker.
Whatever.
Streaming the show on my speedy golf cart for an early round before the big-time heat. Great to hear Tim's hot voice on the tee box. Plowsy's fried Rogers sweater is looking sexy. Oh, Fred, I apologize. That was actually written correctly. Plowsy's Fred Rogers sweater, Mr. Rogers, is looking sexy AF. Let's drink plenty of water today, boys. Check on the elderly, Strode. That's from Mr. 63011. He is at Meadowbrook with the speedy golf cart, and I guess he's about to get a round in.
You better hurry.
Yeah, it's a weird forecast because it's cool right now, but then by the time 4 o'clock rolls around, I see 102. Now, again, this is my app. And it's raining. And I noticed that when I was driving here, there was just like a little drizzle.
Not that cool outside.
Yeah.
Well, the humidity's so
Well,
high.
78, but it's going to get to 100, and that's 98 tomorrow, 96 storms in the forecast every day. Now, granted, these are all chances of thunderstorms, which you will have in warm summer months. But, yeah, every single day between now and next Saturday. Storms. Storms. But these are little pop-ups. Don't be alarmed.
Yeah.
Don't let it ruin your 4th of July weekend.
No.
No, get out there and light your fireworks a couple days early like everybody else.
In a rare move yesterday, I was watching the local news, and they said it's going to feel like 111 today. Like the humidity is going to be so nasty that it's going to be
Is that right?
just red hot. I wanted to play today, but those are compromising temperatures. That's hot. I feel like in the humidity. That's the worst thing about it.
Yeah,
Like, if it was
ball
just
fly.
hot.
I mean,
Ball fly.
It's humid now, I guarantee it feels like. I guess some of these weather apps have what it feels like. It's got to be at least 90, low 90s with humidity.
Hello. I want to pay Jackson a compliment. I heard a best of yesterday from when he first started, and he's so much better on the air now.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, appreciate that. Positive growth.
And that's from the Crystal City Clamhammer,
Yeah,
who you had been sideways with.
He's fully off my Mount Rushmore.
Wow. Okay, who's your current Mount Rushmore? Because it seems like Harrison's brother Master has kind of retreated a bit.
I know. I'm still going to put him on there. He sends too many of the exact same texts over and over again. That's a bit strange. And then St. Charles Hermaphrodite, the Jeffco Gentleman, and I'll just go Todd Reesing solely because he's a beaker. And I just watched the Thomas Robinson on Phil Pressey foul again at Fog Allen.
You're still haunted by this a decade plus later.
Every time I see that video, it reinvigorates the fire within.
Today would be a great day to replay the Pepper and Jeannie episode on how to stay cool in the summer, which I believe is the same episode Plowsy mentioned Pete the Cocker Spaniel once bit his ween. That's from Alley's in Dadeville.
Ooh.
Yeah, old Pete.
You got a dog bite your ween?
It was when I was a kid. I was changing in a pop-out camper.
Times haven't changed.
Yeah, I was in Havana, Illinois. I'm getting ready to go putt-putt. Getting out of the swim trunk, getting into normal clothes. And, Pete was there and nipped it.
Oh.
Did you put a little peanut butter on there?
I did not. It was just me changing in the pop-out. Very close quarters, obviously. Pete was in there.
Pete the Cocker Spaniel.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that would.
It's actually a King Charles Spaniel, but
I would never own a dog ever if that happened.
It was a tough time.
You can own a home with Jeff Lotman. He has 22 years and over $500 million in sales and was recently featured in the Wall Street Journal for selling the most expensive home in St. Louis. He's online at jefflotman.com. He is TMA's real estate agent, JEFFLOTTMANN.com. He joined Compass Realty to start and build Compass St. Louis into the #1 luxury brand in St. Louis. Is Compass the largest luxury broker in the world? Never turns down a referral, no matter what the price. Luxury is much more about the experience than the price. They treat all their clients the same way. At Jeff Lotman's Place, can connect buyers and sellers in other cities across the globe. Just visit jefflotman.com. That's JEFFLOTTMANN.com. jefflotman.com. If you are looking to buy or sell your home, he is a guy I know, and he is a guy I recommend you work with. It's jefflotman.com. And you are welcome to support our automotive sponsor, Munganast, St. Louis Acura, and Alton Toyota, the sponsor of the 7 o'clock hour, with a ridiculous supply of pre-owned vehicles for you right now, which you can shop at stlouisacura.com or altontoyota.com. And you can go shopping on July 8th and meet Ken Iggy Strode, who will be selling those vehicles as the great Jamie Burkhardt is donating $200 for every car Iggy sells to the Megan Meyer Foundation. Iggy, tell the people the details on this wonderful, wonderful event.
There's so many good things that can happen that day. First of all, you'll probably get a signed glossy from me.
Nice. July 8th, Saturday.
July 8th, Saturday. It's a week from this Saturday. I'll be out there from 10 to 3 p.m. You can get a glossy from me. I'm sure that's what everybody wants. Not only that, you can get a great car. Those Acuras are gorgeous. And you can help support a sponsor and support a great foundation, the Megan Meyer Foundation, because every car sold that day, $200 will go to the Megan Meyer Foundation. So come on out. We're going to have some fun. Probably see Jamie.
Nice.
Probably going to see Clayton.
Nice.
See Peter.
Nice.
Karen will probably be there in the service department. Nice. A lot of great people. So come on out. Saturday, July 8th, 10 to 3. Buy a car from Iggy and help us raise some money for Megan Meyer Foundation.
There it is, St. Louis Acura. It's Munganast, July 8th. Ken Iggy Strode selling cars for 5 hours. That is Munganast, St. Louis Acura, and Alton Toyota. Looking for a place to have a pony before or after a Cardinals game or before or after a Doggies game? Maggie O'Brien's is the place to go with the great Eddie McVeigh. Just a first-class guy, one of my favorite people in all the land. They've been doing it for 40 years at Maggie O'Brien's on Market Street, and if you want to go and park there for free, you can take a $2 shuttle to the Cardinal game. Cardinals and Astros wrapping up the series tonight, and you always have the Doggies option. U.S. men's national team taking on St. Kitts Nevis last night. Anybody watch? I actually did watch some of it. Once the Cardinal game was over. I was at City Park.
I was going to watch some of the Jamaica game, but couldn't find it.
Last night, 6-0 victory. Maggie O'Brien's. You know what you're going to get. That is first-class service, food, and also you're going to have a great time there as well. They tailgate before the Doggies games, and in the Sunset Hills location and downtown location, they have live music over the weekends. It's Maggie O'Brien's. They cater as well, and we have hired them at our home to cater some of our parties. It's Maggie O'Brien's. Check it out and support the sponsors, the great Eddie McVeigh and Maggie O'Brien's. Get involved on the program by texting into the EDF group text inbox 314-881-TMA5. Call in 636-9004-TMA and email in the morning after at InsideSTL.com for our Design Air heating and cooling email of the day. Well, I felt really good about my bet for the Cardinals to win the National League Central in the 7th inning last night. And then the 8th inning arrived, and all hell broke loose as the Cardinals looked like they were going to take the first two against the Houston Astros, the defending world champions. And then Giovanni Gallegos came in, gave up 5 runs, including a 3-run shot off the bat of Jose Altuve, and then a 2-run shot off the bat of Jose Abreu. And that, which looked like what was going to be a great win to make it 7 out of 9, instead turned into a terrible, terrible loss.
Ugh, brutal. Gallegos.
Didn't you see enough after you get up the 3-run shot?
We will play some audio from Ollie Marmol in which John Denton, friend of the program, asked that question, and it didn't go well for him. As a matter of fact, I think anybody who asked a question last night, maybe minus Katie Wu of The Athletic, was held accountable for said question.
She got it a little bit, too.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
I watched the whole thing this morning.
Yeah, it was kind of like, so what's your follow-up to that?
Oh, that was the so what's your follow-up? Okay.
Yeah, it was just rough. I mean, yeah, he did not seem thrilled, and I get it to an extent, like anytime you're going to, the questioning of like bullpen moves, it's so tough because hindsight's 20/20. But yeah, after the 3-run shot, maybe a little Chris Stratton. Maybe a little bit of Chris Stratton as opposed to leaving Gallegos in there, but it's easy to backseat it.
What is that, 17 blown saves?
I don't know.
Whatever it is, they're only one short of what they had all of last year. I think I saw 16 blown saves. He only had 17 last year. Or 17 blown saves. He only had 18 blown saves last year.
Pollock, I can tell you're chomping at the bit.
I just miss Mike Schilt, man. I'm just thinking, like, yeah, it's annoying. I can regurgitate the same takes because, I mean, they're very accurate. Marmol will go down as one of the worst Cardinal managers in history and the least personality I've ever seen. You couldn't pay me to hang out with that dude. And he's alienating the entire clubhouse and all the media along with it, and including the fan base. So I would say he's doing a very good job.
But you're still high on him.
Yeah, if this is the route he wanted to go, man, he's killing it.
Well, let's not let Michaelis off the hook either. He pretty much sucked.
Well, yeah, give him $20 more million. I mean, just do whatever the hell you want to do. Mozeliak is untouchable. Marmol is untouchable, and they're not going to make any major moves. Wash, rinse, repeat. You'll have a terrible team next year coming in.
I didn't think Michaelis was that bad last evening.
He has been overall decent this year, too. He had that good little stretch.
Did he give 3 or 5 earned runs last night?
He had 5 earned runs in 5 2/3, 7 hits, 4 strikeouts, 3 walks.
Okay. It doesn't matter because they were up.
Chris Stratton had already pitched. So you wanted Stratton to keep pitching, Jackson?
Yes. Oh, Stratton already pitched at that point?
I thought you wanted back on the 8th?
Then my apologies. Then I had that backwards.
It's a good thing it happened here instead of 101.
Well, it would have been even funnier.
I don't know
it's funny
either way.
I say bring it up.
You're mad
101.
anyway.
That's on me.
Jackson proudly announced yesterday he couldn't name a member of the Philadelphia Flyers, and all hell broke loose.
Honestly,
Phil can only name 2.
I'm talking about in the organization's history, not necessarily now, in which it's a rough time for the Flyer.
Eric Lindros, Bobby Clark,
Claude Giroux.
These are names. I don't know who.
Well,
they
the
are.
Blues head coach would be one, or Chris
Yuri
Pronger would
Laterra.
be another. So either way, Jackson enjoys poking that very, very banty beehive on 101. Yeah, when you said that, I'm like, I thought Stratton already pitched, so that's why I went and double checked it because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't eating mushrooms.
I started watching right when Gallegos basically got into the game, so that's my apologies. At a men's league basketball.
Let me ask you guys, and it doesn't matter because they were winning the game. They scored some runs. But I saw the lineup, and I said, oh, yeah, let's give Walker a day off. Oh, Young had a good game last night. Let's sit him. I didn't understand the lineup last night. That doesn't matter. They just ended up scoring 7 runs. But I don't know how you sit DeYoung after a game he had, and Walker's got a hitting streak. Let's give him another day off unless he's sick again. I don't want to say anything unless I didn't read the paper. Maybe he's sick again, but I just didn't understand the lineup after a good win and after you use the same lineup almost every night. And you changed it last night. I didn't get it.
I am anxious to see what winds up happening with Nolan Arenado. That is... that no matter what, had they won the game, was going to be something to keep an eye on. And for the record, for those of you who may not have watched it, Nolan Arenado left the game and did not return to the field. I believe it was the top of the 6th inning, I think, when he was replaced, and then Gorman moved over to third base. Lower back injury. Marmol said after the game it was from sliding the night before, and if you watch him in one of his final at-bat, as he was running down to first, you could tell he was uncomfortable. You really have to be ISO'd in on it to see it. So keep an eye on that, because it was Nolan Arenado who put the Cardinals up in the first inning after Michaelis had allowed a couple of early runs, and the Cardinals are in a spot where they're up 6-3. The thing about that game last night, couple things. Certainly Gallegos is going to be the focal point, and then when we play the Marmol sound, it's going to get people even more banty. Cardinals could have / should have had way more runs than they did. So many opportunities that they blew. The 4th inning was brutal. And I guess they're at a point with Dylan Carlson that they feel like we've got to just start runners from third base and kind of use like and I'm not doing this to like do the, Mike Matheny Little League thing, but like a Little League trick where you start the runner off first with the runner on third to try to get the runner home and the rundown, which I feel like you see so often around baseball right now. It's kind of an ABC play. If you're the second baseman or shortstop involved in the rundown, you just wait for the guy to break, and then you got to make a good throw. And to Altuve's credit, he did. It was right on the glove of Maldonado, and so DeYoung was tagged out, and the Cardinals ran themselves out of that inning. Now, granted, how high were you on the possibility of Dylan Carlson coming through at that point? If the Cardinals were high on it, they probably don't try to run that play, but that also cost them. Point being, they should have had a hell of a lot more runs than 7 runs, and 7 runs is damn good, but they really could have and should have shut the door on that game and made it a bullpen game with potentially a position player pitching for the Astros in the 8th inning, and instead they didn't capitalize on opportunities. So as you can imagine, Ollie Marmol not particularly pleased when asked some questions following the game. 3 wonderful sound bites. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Ollie Marmol not happy about a question regarding the Cardinal bullpen.
Were you short Hicks tonight? Were you down a couple guys out there tonight?
No.
Okay, I was just based on the way that the sequencing happened through the bullpen throughout that game, Palante for that spot, for example, just was curious if you found yourself in a spot where you were trying to lengthen the guys you had as that game played out.
Run me what was odd about it.
Just Palante comes in and faces the righties with 2 outs as opposed to maybe Stratton and that spot, for instance, right in forward from there.
Yeah, Stratton's arsenal pitches there against both Altuve and Bregman are my favorite. Both of those guys have a good chance of getting him in the air and going a long ways. I'd rather keep him in the ballpark with Palante. If you look at Altuve, he's 2 for 2 with the 2,500 against him. If you look at Bregman, I think he's 3 for 4 against Stratton. I'd rather keep him on the ground with Palante. And if he can't get those 2, he's got Tucker, who I feel pretty confident he can get. So, no, I wasn't short any guys.
There is Ollie Marmol answering that question. Let's play 2, and then we'll all comment after we have all 3 played.
Yeah.
Ollie, how hard has it been to get your bullpen firing all at once? It seems
they haven't, and that's part of it. I mean, you look at it, we've blown a lot of leads after the 7th, and you give different people an opportunity at it, and it just hasn't gone well. So you score 7, you have to win a ball game, bottom line.
Is there frustration extra with the Maldonado double, given the way the at-bat went with Myers immediately before?
Yeah, we walked the 8 hole 3 times today.
Did you consider going and getting Gio after the home run so that maybe the second one didn't come? Was there consideration to pull him there before the second home run?
Yeah, if you would have told me the second homer was coming, I definitely would have taken him out.
It's happened 3 times this year now.
And how many times has it not happened? I mean, we can bring Cabby in for Tucker there. Tucker's been much better against left-handers this year. He's got over 1,000 OPS. He's got a 6 and change against righties. And if Cabby doesn't get Tucker, do you like the Abreu bat? The answer is no. So I mean, in hindsight, you can ask however you want to ask it, but we shouldn't even got to that point. Yeah.
And then finally, here he is on analytics versus in-game situations.
Yeah.
When you use the matchups and the data that you have so readily available, how do you, as a manager, weigh what the numbers are saying and then what an in-game situation may or may not be calling for?
Yeah, the numbers don't make a decision for you. They never will. It's a matter of you're watching the game, you're watching what guys have done. You know who has confidence, who doesn't, who's feeling right, who's not feeling right. And you make your decisions based on what you're seeing live. Numbers are there to inform decisions. That's pregame. You know all this data pregame, and you go into the game already knowing everything we just talked about. You're reading the game and using your eyes. What's the follow-up to that?
I just wanted to know, as every manager is different, how do you weigh those decisions and come to your decisions?
Yeah.
Let him in.
All right, Plowhawk looks like Mike Tyson getting ready before the first round. So before it goes, I have 2 thoughts on this, and then we'll just let the Plowhawk take us to 8:40, I think, is how long it's going to go. Number one, he really does himself no favors by the way he conducts himself in these things. As I said a couple of weeks ago, following TMA Day at the ballpark, as a matter of fact, I really thought if he was going to get fired, I thought it was that day. It was before they were going out on the road trip, and they had lost a bunch of games in a row. That one was a brutal one, even though Jackson was happy about it because it covered his over bet when the ball came flying over our heads in right field. And I had a conversation with someone that afternoon. And listen, it's not like this person is in the front office who said, yeah, he's not getting fired this year. The players love him. The front office love him. I go, really? The players love him? Okay, you would know better than me. But part of being a manager in 2023, and this was probably the case 20 years ago, but even more so now, is you are one of the faces of the franchise, one of usually the front face of the franchise, because you are speaking before and after games and oftentimes attending events. And it's a trait that is very difficult to learn. It's counterintuitive to human behavior, actually, because if you are provoked and you also think the person asking you the question, number one, doesn't have near the information you do, and number two, is looking to provoke you, human nature would be to act like he acts, but conducting yourself and compartmentalizing that reptilian reaction is part of the job, and it is a trait that would either suit Marmol to learn or suit the Cardinals to teach him. Now, along those lines, I would tell you, as somebody who dealt with Tony La Russa for 5 seasons, nearly night in, night out when they were at home, and also got my ass ripped on some of the road games too, and then also I also dealt with Norm Stewart. I was super young when that was going on. Quinn Snyder went after me. But talking about coaches such as Bill Belichick, Nick Saban, Pop in San Antonio, I feel like I might be leaving some others out who would be considered some of the best of the recent history. Bill Parcells, perhaps, if you want to go back a little bit. What do those guys have that Ollie Marmol doesn't have?
Winning.
Success.
Winning.
And so when you have that, you have the credibility, the equity with a fan base to act like that. He doesn't have it. And so he comes off as being inexperienced and childish. And all that does is irritate an already, justifiably so, irritated fan base. And it doesn't do him any favors. The thing is, a lot of what he said has merit. He's ready to give answers, but he sounds so exasperated, so condescending, that I feel like in a way it's almost like if I were a parent, that's how my 5-year-old would act. And I'd go, hey, I understand you're upset about the Legos breaking, but you're out in public. You got to handle it differently. And this is a 35-year-old man. I mean, I'm 11 years older than him. And this is kind of a basic, it's not a basic skill set, but it's an important skill set to have. But at the same time, the president of baseball operations, I think in part has alienated the fan base by his tone. So it's an organization that at times, unfortunately, is tone deaf. If you listen to some of his answers in those exchanges, he is ready to rattle off the numbers that really help make sense. La Russa would do the same thing. Oftentimes it would have to be when the microphones were turned off and the cameras were turned off and you'd be in his office. But he'd be so pissed off after a loss that it didn't matter. We were like soldiers, and whoever, it's like, okay, it's your turn tonight. Go out there and just get lit up. I did it last night. We just knew it was coming. And then, audience members would be like, oh my God, you got your ass handed. It doesn't matter. Whoever asked the question was get their ass. You knew what the situation was. With this, these questions are fair, but it doesn't matter. But he has data. The issue is the data is forgotten because you're listening to a guy be so condescending and off-putting that will be the focal point, not what he said. And then finally, he was asked about analytics versus in-game situations, and then he blew up the first couple of answers we heard where he stated statistics and analytics in defense for his moves, but then said, well, you got to know what's going on in the middle of the game, and that's how you make decisions. So it's totally counter to what he said. So that is my perspective.
He contradicted himself to
that's what I'm saying.
Denton and to Katie Wu.
That's what I'm saying. So 314-881-TMA5 or call in 636-900-4TMA. Plowhawk, I know you want to go, so go.
No, actually, you took a lot of what I was going to say, which is great. Does he want this job? No, I mean, I'm being like kind of serious, although it's completely in a sarcastic tone. Like, he doesn't have the track record success. Now, if he has a couple rings on his finger, certainly you can act like this all day. That's completely fine.
That's the deal. That's the difference, because he doesn't act any worse than La Russa or Belichick's a different kind of thing. I think Belichick has just like taken himself to like a Phil Jackson like Zen area where he goes, okay, I got to do this crap with these people for 10 minutes. I've got to do it, and I'm just going to give them nothing. Saban gets pissy. Who else in college football? College sports is a hotbed of pissy coach. Jim Calhoun is the one Doug would love to bring up, but he won national championships. All these guys have won championships. This guy has won a Central Division title in an era where division titles have as less meaning as they have in the history of the game. So it really comes off wrong. And the thing that's a shame about it is he is giving knowledge that explains his decision, but it's lost in the manner with which he delivers the knowledge. And then the strangest part of the whole thing is when he's asked about the stats, he says, well, you can't really pay attention to the stats. You got to watch what's going on in game. And then it blows up the whole thing that I thought was pretty good, which was some of the stats that he was using to explain his decisions. Plowhawk, I interrupted you. I apologize.
No, you're fine. And when you're, I don't know what exactly, I don't think they're the worst team in the NL, but certainly one of the worst teams in the National League. I would hope that you would want the media on your side. I'm not talking fluff pieces, but I mean, how he is alienating and isolating himself from every media member in that locker room. Like, it is, like, that's worse than what Nick Saban does. And he has, 6 national championships? Like, Nick Saban would get ridiculed and grilled today for how Ollie Marmol handled the press conference last night. And this is a guy with a 20-year track record of success. Ollie Marmol has 2 seasons under his belt. This is his second year. It just seems like he doesn't want the job. He hates the job. I don't know what it is, but if I'm a media member, I am not having a great time asking him questions every day.
I know Bill DeWitt wants to win, but it doesn't help matters any to try and make moves when you're drawing 44,000 for a team that's 13 games under 500. Then people are going to come. So it doesn't really matter. Well, if we're losing fans, they're not losing fans. They're going to come out in 40,000 every night.
Well, the guy they're going to trade here in a month or two, you're going to get half or a quarter of the value you would have in February and January, which is, to me, exactly what the Cardinals do. They sell at the player's absolute lowest point, and then they go to a team that actually takes the time, develops them. You got a Randy Arozarena, and there are countless ones we've already talked about. Like, this is just what they do. They covet prospects. They have a logjam in like 4 or 5 different areas. Prospects lose value. They trade them at their lowest point, and then that prospect ends up being successful somewhere else.
Who in particular do you think has lost value since?
Oh, I think Dylan Carlson for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tyrone O'Neal's not even a trade piece at this point anymore. He's a guy you could probably DFA at the end of his tenure. It just, the guys you could have got a starter for, you would have had to package those guys. You're not getting anything for them now, and they're going to be in a desperate spot to overpay for somebody. So I don't know what their thought process is, but this has been one of the weirdest seasons in Cardinal baseball in terms of the offseason.
Yeah.
Calling out Tyler O'Neill, and it just, sending down Jordan Walker.
There's a bunch of it. The Walker thing has wound up, working out. I liked it, but I liked it for different reasons than why it worked out. So I don't necessarily, I don't necessarily consider that a thought process win, because my thought process on why I liked it didn't necessarily work out, i.e. other outfielders finding their stride, because I don't really know what other outfielders have found their stride outside of Jordan Walker. But Zach Thompson is one that flies under the radar. He was a reliever. Now he's back to being a starter, except he's doing it in Memphis. And the Tyler O'Neill thing, which, again, from a macro standpoint, along with the conduct in the post-game interviews, that to me, those are leadership skills. You can say it's about winning games, and I get it, but it tells you, from my standpoint, and I could be wrong, but about how somebody leads. Now, with that said, I've been told by someone who would certainly know that they love him in the clubhouse, and he is not in danger of losing his job during the season. Perhaps that remains that way. Perhaps it won't. I don't know, but that was what I was told 2 weeks ago. And so I just look at it and I think, God, somebody in the organization really needs to have that conversation with him. But then at the same time, as I said earlier, I think one of the reasons why John Mozeliak is as disliked as he is because of the way he communicates, which comes off condescending. When he used to do that and they were winning, it was kind of fun. Like, oh, have Mo on and let him make fun of you guys. And it was fun. But now that they are these, also-rans who many fans do not feel like are going all out to try to win, and I certainly was beyond confused by what they did this offseason, that it comes off as condescending. And there was a spring training interview we did, I don't even know how many years ago at this point, 4 or 5 years ago, in which he went Russell Crowe and Maximus and said, "Are you not entertained?" when I asked about fans being frustrated. Point being on citing that is, if you have the president of baseball operations being condescending, then who is going to correct the manager when he also comes off that way? And so I think that alienates people. And again, the thing is, he said things that had merit. The problem with the things that he said merit is they were cloaked in a manner with which they were delivered in an off-putting, condescending manner. And then finally, he totally contradicted himself on the importance of numbers with his final thing, and then said, "Do you have a follow-up to that?" Like, I just dunked on you. And listen, I understand feeling that way, but part of leading and part of being the front person for an organization is compartmentalizing that stuff and not spewing it when you're on tilt. You can't do it. It's a trait of somebody who is usually a great leader. And that's why the O'Neill thing stood out to me, because that's not what great leaders do. Call out an individual's effort in public, call it out all day individually, call it out in the clubhouse if you want to, even though I would think that's not necessarily a great thing to do in front of other people. I know fans might love that, but that is, I'm just telling you, that doesn't rub people the right way. And then this stuff, anytime they have a tough loss, is it's strangely childish. And I say I'm surprised somebody doesn't say something to him about it, but like I said, if the president of baseball operations, is condescending, then why wouldn't the manager be condescending? And the whole point being, he doesn't have the track record to conduct himself like this and get away with it. La Russa did, Belichick does, Saban does, Pop does, Parcells did, Jim Boeheim is another one that, was perhaps maybe the worst of them all. But he won national championships. The thing is, the one from 2003, it wore out. 20 years. It's
Wore
been
out
20
for me in
years.
about 2 years.
Calhoun won national championships. I'm sure I'm missing some other ones in college sports, too, because college sports is just littered with them because they're little presidents of their small towns and beating up on 25-year-old reporters.
I know it's female sports, but Gino Armiema can.
Yeah, there's another one. Yeah, that's a nice play.
Kim Mulkey, too. She'll fire away.
See, but at this point, though, I don't think it's going to help to fire Marmol during the season. I can't believe I'm saying that because I think he's a complete disaster. But I just think roster construction, there's not enough depth in pitching. Without making major trades, I don't really know if it matters who's making pitching changes or who's doing pre- and post-game as a manager. I mean, you certainly could put a lot of blame on Ollie, but right now, I mean, you just got to play this season out. I mean, it's just going to be 5-game winning streaks after 8-game losing streaks. It's just going to be that roller coaster ride the rest of the way, and then you can make your moves. But I was down firing him a few weeks ago. Now I just don't see the point. The team just doesn't have it. They go 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, and that's kind of how it's been all year.
I mean, and here's the thing about last night's game specifically. It's on the team. They had the opportunities. They had if you would, if expected runs based on what you actually had happen in that game was way above 7, and I would say way above the 10 that Houston wound up scoring. It's not Ollie Marmol's fault. That's not John Mozeliak's fault. I know that those are buzz names to get people going, but if you want to look at last night's game, Lars Nootbaar popped out with an opportunity in the 4th inning, and the Cardinals didn't capitalize, and that was with 1 out. And then, if I'm not mistaken, Arenado followed that up with a pop out. And that's when he looked strange, I think, running gingerly down to first base. And then the Cardinals had more opportunities after that. That one was the most golden, to have bases loaded and only get 1 run. And I know the Astros had to have felt like they dodged a bullet there because that game could have been blown wide open. At that point, it's 7-3. You get a couple more, and 9-3 feels like a world of difference because you're going to have a couple of big rallies to even get to 9. 7-3, theoretically, you can chip away on that, and 1 big swing with the bases loaded ties the game. And as we saw with Altuve's home run, it went from let's get a base hit and tie it to 3-run home run. The Astros take the lead. And Gallegos had been good recently in the 8th inning, and then Hicks comes in and closes it out. So managerial-wise, I know that people want to jump on things, but last night the Cardinal players did not execute. The issue is because of the way he conducts himself, and then also the way Mozeliak will conduct himself, they get a hell of a lot more hatred. I mean, Doug Armstrong has had some real missteps, but I think he has equity, number one, of course, because of a Stanley Cup, and that would be, period, end of sentence. But also, there is a sense that the Blues go balls to the wall and try to win, so there's credibility there for him and Tom Stillman, and also the way Doug Armstrong talks, you don't feel like, oh God, if I ask a question, I might get hit with a roundhouse that I didn't see coming for asking what's a fair question. Same thing with Craig Berube. And the way with which an organization communicates frames the mindset for a fan base on whether or not you buy in. This is, it might be psychology, but I'm very confident with where I'm coming from on it. And the Cardinal organization does a poor job of communicating. And then recently they told the fan base they were going to increase the payroll. And by the letter of the law, they did increase the payroll. But when you tell people that, and then you have one signing, and it's a guy who, is hitting .214, and you pulled from the position 5 weeks into the season, and you have a rotation that you didn't tend to in an inconsistent offense, people go, what the hell did you do this offseason, and why did you tell people that you were going to increase the payroll? And what the hell do you say to Nolan Arenado that got him to not opt out, and now he's here, but the only addition was Wilson Contreras? So all of those things form mindsets when you're talking about a post-game press conference on July 29th or June 29th, and the team is sitting in last place. You're welcome to give your thoughts at 7:58 in St. Louis by texting in 314-881-TMA5, by calling in 636-900-4TMA, and by emailing in the morning after at InsideSTL.com. Jackson, tell the people about St. Louis Hair Restoration. Doug is recovering from getting hair transplants yesterday, today. He is in recovery mode. You are wearing a hat at night.
Yeah, a little laser cap that I put on for 6 minutes a night. Super, super easy to do. watching the Cardinal game, watching the movie, just throw it on top of your head. 6 minutes, easy money, and that's what they consulted me to do. I went in there, they looked at my head, they said, there's some thin there, don't get me wrong, but let's put you on the finasteride. They suggested me taking finasteride, and then they gave me this laser cap to wear 6 minutes a night, which the finasteride helps hold the line, and the laser cap helps spark regrowth. So that combination, if that takes well for a year, maybe I do something like Doug did yesterday, which is the FUE procedure. That's follicular unit extraction. They take individual hairs from the donor areas, the back side of your head where most men still have hair even after going bald, and then they place that on top of the areas where you are missing some hair. And then, Doug, in about 8 to 12 months, I think you're going to start seeing some serious results. Dr. Palinga and Greg, the founder at St. Louis Hair Restoration, do incredible work. Patients themselves, so they've been in your shoes before. They've worked on a ton of different people doing different hair restoration procedures all the time. St. Louis Hair Restoration. You can visit their website, stlouishairrestoration.com, or give them a call, 314-384-2474.
And with people dealing with inflation, people are taking on more debt than ever. If you are a homeowner, leverage your equity. Put the equity in your home to work for you with a simple cash-out refinance. The average credit card interest rate is over 24%. Well, you can work with thehomeloanexpert.com to get that taken care of because it's the highest it's been in over 30 years. With inflation, people are carrying more debt than ever. Put your equity to work with you for a simple cash-out refinance. The average home loan expert client receives over $54,000 cash out on their refinance. So take care of credit card debt once and for all by going to thehomeloanexpert.com and working with our presenting sponsor here on the radio presentation, and that is Ryan Kelly. The Ryan Kelly Morning After. For more than a decade, he's been our title sponsor. You're buying a home, you're refinancing, you want to get that cash out of your home, go to thehomeloanexpert.com and work with the great Ryan Kelly. We are in our Michelob Ultra studios, 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbohydrates. Michelob Ultra, the sponsor of the Dotem, the Lemmings Open, and the J. Randolph Jr. Fan Page Club Championship. And we are Michelob Ultra fans in this studio, 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbohydrates. When you're out playing golf, it is perfect to enjoy your mornings or afternoons on the golf course. Michelob Ultra, 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbohydrates. A couple more days left here in the month of June to compete for our Milagro Tequila Listener of the Month. You want to sign up and apply? You want to compete with Buzz and Arbor Day and Buck Swope? Go to tmastl.com and apply to be the Milagro Tequila TMA Listener of the Month. Milagro Tequila, welcome to a brighter side of tequila with Milagro. It is 8 o'clock in St. Louis. We will close out the Munganess St. Louis Acura Alton Toyota 7 o'clock hour. This is the Ryan Kelly Morning After from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
For one Saturday only, July 8th, come test drive and buy a car from Iggy. Yes, Iggy at Munganess St. Louis Acura on Manchester. From 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., enjoy a meet and greet with the honorary salesman of the day, Ken Iggy Strode. And yes, by the way, he'll be signing autographs. Glossies have been made. For every car purchased, Munganess St. Louis Acura will donate $200 to the Megan Meyer Foundation, creating a world where bullying and cyberbullying no longer exists. Support a TMA advertiser and a great cause all at the same time. Saturday, July 8th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Munganess St. Louis Acura on Manchester. Find out more at tmastl.com. You're hearing TMA all day on KPNT HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis, featuring the Ryan Kelly Morning After, live from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Then a full show replay from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., followed by the best of TMA from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m., and another same-day replay starting at 10 p.m. Find the full schedule at tmastl.com. Brought to you by Ryan Kelly at thehomeloanexpert.com, the most efficient mortgage process you'll ever experience.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today.
Driving the ball 300 yards is cool and impresses your buddies, but scoring amounts to getting the ball in the hole. Thus, the best way to lower your scores is to improve your short game. If you want a golf green that putts true and gives you real grass performance when practicing chips, pitches, and bunker shots, the only company to call is Clubhouse Turf, St. Louis's exclusive partner of Celebrity Greens. Each Clubhouse Turf signature green is unique in design and can create your own backyard golf experience that your family and friends will enjoy for years to come. Call Clubhouse Turf today at 314-802-6229 or visit them online at clubhouseturf.com.
James, I love getting emails from listeners who support the sponsors of TMA and the Balloon Party, and they have great experiences with clients. And I got one last week from a client of yours who switched, and you immediately saved him $1,000. And
if you're hearing this and you have any drivers in your home that are under 25, we'd love an opportunity to see just how much we can save you.
Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency, 314-961-4800, or go online at carltoninsurance.net.
Buying a home is the American dream, and no one deserves that dream more than the brave men and women who sacrifice and serve this great nation of ours. If you're VA eligible, there's no better loan than the Hero Loan. You can buy a home with no money down, or you can refinance and pull the cash out up to 100% of your appraised value. We can close your VA loan in as little as 14 days. HeroLoan.com, the only way to VA.
The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
Okay. Hot takes.
Yeah. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini.
And now the Pepperoncini Show with Darren Adkins and Ken Stroh. All right, take it, fellas.
There it is. That's the open.
Pepperoncini.
Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini.
We don't know what it is. We don't understand the name. We just know it's stupid. And it's available every weekday, featuring Iggy and the Plowboy. Apparently it's some kind of a podcast or something. Available at tmastl.com and on the TMASTL mobile app. Whatever.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan. I'm here with a great sponsor on TMA, and that is the Longo Biggs Injury Law Firm. But here is the thing. You hear injury law and you go, okay, well, that's all they do. But that is not necessarily the case.
Yeah, Tim, we also do workers' compensation cases, and those are obviously cases that comes from someone getting hurt while at work. But these cases are actually kind of tricky because workers' compensation cases are governed by their own set of laws, and they can be difficult to navigate. There's a lot of things people don't know. For instance, all your medical treatment has to be provided by your employer, and there's two different kinds of payments you need to be concerned about in a work comp case. One type is just getting paid for the time that you can't work, and the other is a settlement for the permanent injury that you have, which factors in various elements of your case, such as what body part and how severe it is. And this is where you need a knowledgeable work comp attorney to help you maximize your settlement. The insurance companies don't negotiate fair in these cases and don't settle for less if you're hurt at work. Visit our website or Google Longo Biggs Injury Law.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisement.
When we think of a real estate agent, we think of somebody simply selling our home or finding us a new one. I mean, they're all the same, right?
Okay, here's the comps. We'll take some pics, we'll post them, and I'll get back to you, okay?
A home is life-changing, and your real estate agent should reflect that. Honesty, integrity, and someone who will go above and beyond to make your dreams come true.
The Jeff Lotman Group with Compass Realty. We're different because you're different. We want what you want. Experience the difference today at jefflotman.com, bringing people and properties together.
Hello, it's Jackson for Rosalita's. TMA listeners know that Rosalita's Cantina has the best patio and the best Tex-Mex in town. From tableside guac to piled high nachos, the amazing menu at Rosalita's is full of classic Mexican dishes. Plus, it's always time for a margarita, and Rosalita's has the most delicious house and specialty margs in town. Enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 6, and let Rosalita's cater your next event. Check out rosalitascantina.com or visit the downtown or DePere location today. Time to get your fiesta on at Rosalita's.
The Tim McKernan Show podcast, featuring long-form interviews with people from the world of sports, politics, and entertainment.
And our guest today, Bill McClellan. Thanks so much for coming in.
Hey, my pleasure, Tim.
What's up, Caden?
Hi, how are you?
Joe Buck, our guest today.
Man, it's like I haven't seen you in years.
More than 500 episodes and counting, and it's available wherever you get your podcasts, including the TMA STL app. Get the app now at tmastl.com.
Well, let's put our golf where our mouths are.
Now.
The Ryan Kelly Morning After.
KPN-TFM HD2.
The bees are going tra-la, tra-la. Go down on the mast, tra-la, tra-la. The Cardinals are coming, tra-la, tra-la. The bees are singing, the flags in the bag. The Cardinals are winning, it's too soon to brag. But when it's all over and October's here, the Cardinals will win it, 'cause this is our year. Look out, we've got to swing in our town. Where you dance, don't make any bad. We're gonna be, 'cause this is the year. The Cardinals are coming. Tra-la-la-la-la-la.
Jazz flute, baby.
It is the Ryan Kelly Morning After. Welcome to our 8 o'clock hour here on TMA, and you are welcome to be a part of the radio program by calling in 636-900-4TMA, by emailing in the morning after at InsideSTL.com for our design, air, heating, and cooling email today, and by texting into the EDF Group text in box 314-881-TMA5. Engineered Designed Facilities is moving forward as the EDF Group, the most experienced data center and critical facility service provider in the St. Louis market. Check out the newly revamped website, theedfgroup.com, and take a look at each of the 3 divisions they have to offer. EDF Group is your one throat to choke for all your critical facilities, data center, commercial fire alarm, and electrical and IT infrastructure needs. To contact the EDF Group, email fire@theedfgroup.com. Experience the EDF Group difference and learn more at theedfgroup.com. Sponsor of our text inbox here on TMA. Bill's wife led the program today, as I think probably led the opening drive on 101 ESPN as well. I was willing to provide financial incentive. KG in O-Town, Jackson, you guys can look at the text inbox. I don't see anything from Bill's wife here.
Yeah, bone dry.
Don't be nervous, Bill's wife.
You guys still standing by this? Or are you moving on? You are.
I truly am. Like I don't. This is just like kind of a gut feeling, and I truly do remember something where I was convinced, like totally convinced, like I would have bet my whole entire bankroll on it. So
wow.
I'm still ready to wager.
Wow.
Yeah,
I think KG in O-Town has inside word. That's what I think.
I hope, because that would just give me more confidence on my bet.
Bill's wife, you are welcome to call in. I will offer $100 for proof.
Wow.
I don't know what else I can do. I want to smoke this out. That's what I want to do. I want to smoke this out.
If she doesn't respond, and I keep saying she because belief is belief. If she doesn't respond to $100 to prove that she's real,
you might join me.
Well, then that would start to, because it's such an easy thing to prove. To me, at least, obviously, but it'd be such an easy thing to prove for $100 free, essentially, that if she doesn't, then doubt starts to creep in. It does. Doubt starts to creep in.
There it is, Bill's wife, $100. And,
make it 120.
I'd like to. What the hell are you doing?
Me?
Yeah.
I just want to get her. I want to prove it, so I'll add 20 to it. 120.
Oh, I see. I thought you were asking me to up it, and like all of a sudden I was in a negotiation.
Oh, no. I'm adding to the pot. I'm not as well off as you, so I just have 20.
Of course, no one is. I'm just like, hold on a second. KG in O-Town's repping Bill's wife. Maybe that's how he knows.
Yeah, it'd be great. If you want to represent her, KG, that'd be great.
Do you represent listeners in the text inbox, KG in O-Town?
I'm willing to.
Cottage industry. It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Mr. Licks.
I don't know what kind of. Yeah, would you like to represent Mr. Licks?
You kind of already do.
Mr. Licks is struggling right now. He's in a slump.
Floundering.
He doesn't need my representation. He's more of a partner.
He's an equity guy. Did anybody watch the NHL draft?
No.
God. I saw a clip.
I watched a little bit of it.
Okay, Plowhawk, then I guess you and I can talk. I did. I was watching the Cardinal game on my phone, and I was watching the draft. I was actually watching the draft on my TV and texting with a nonling.
Did we trade up with Chicago?
Excuse me?
Did we trade up with Chicago?
No.
And drafted Connor Bedard?
Yeah.
We did, and decided to talk about Bill's wife for 20 minutes and get to this at 8:12. No, Connor Bedard went to the Blackhawks as expected, but there was a big surprise with the second pick, which then wound up kind of creating a set of circumstances where the Blues were able to draft a name that I recognize 98% of the audience on this show and maybe about 4% of the audience on Balloon Party wouldn't necessarily recognize, and that is Dalibor Dvorsky, who I think was expected to go substantially higher than he wound up going, and then he wound up being there for the Blues at the 10th pick. The Blues wound up not trading anybody. I am not going to even attempt to act like I know anything about the way these three picks play. But Dalibor Dvorsky at 10, Otto Stenberg at 25, and Theo Lindstein at 29. I text quite a bit with the Nonling. You may, if you've listened to the show for a long time, remember him. He wrote for Inside STL and Big Hockey Guy. And we were texting while the draft was going on and also this morning. And he said for the Blues, a total success. Took care of the center position, got a premium guy at 10, and then added to the D pool. The D, Lindstein, is interesting. Scouts are divided on him, but he's got a skill set that should develop into regular ice time. League-wide, I was stunned by the Carlson pick at 2. Fantilli had the rep of he would be number 1 in most drafts, i.e. a non-Connor Bedard draft. Then I'm surprised by the lack of trades. It goes to show how much talent there was and how variable the lists were. Doug Armstrong said regarding no trades that it seemed like everything got quiet around the league. We didn't see anything today. Usually you see picks flying back and forth and everything. It was just a quiet night. I think people are excited about the depth of the draft. So the Blues wind up using all 3 picks, selecting players with all 3 picks as opposed to trading players with all 3 picks. And the biggest takeaway from Armstrong and Berube on where the team is at this moment is if they're going to do anything, the defensive core is going to have to go back to who they were in 21/22 and not who they were in 22/23, because there isn't a bunch of cap space to suddenly make that magical transition from where they were just a couple of months ago when they wrapped up the season to changing that around. And also, obviously, Robert Thomas and Jordan Kyrou have to come into their own. But they have taken care of their forwards for the year with the Hayes trade and now have laid some foundation to tend to center and 1 defenseman picked last night. So, yeah, I was watching it. And the Arizona Coyotes is a fascinating set of circumstances because they also made a move that I think threw the draft off and drafted a couple of Russians who you never know what the situation is going to be when you do that for a variety of reasons, whether or not they're going to play in the league, what the geopolitical situation is that could cause availability. And then they also are in a spot where they have no idea, as in the franchise, where they are going to wind up playing. If I had to put action on it, I would bet that they will be the Houston, perhaps not Coyotes, but they'll be in Houston within the next 2 years. If I had to bet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Texas hockey, second team.
Can Dvorsky play right away?
I wouldn't expect him to be up right away.
It said he'll be one of the top 2 prospects on the Blue organization immediately, though.
I mean, it was one of those that when we were texting about it, me and the Nonling, he loved him when there were only 4 picks had been made. And so the fact that he was still sitting there at 10, I think, caught him off guard. The guy the Coyotes drafted, I can't recall his name. He looked stunned when he was picked, which is odd. You don't want to be the fan. Not that there are a lot of Arizona Coyotes fans, but when that happens, it's kind of like what the Raiders do in the NFL draft. You go, oh, God, who's that? Darius Hayward-Bay has been picked.
Yeah, it was like the 21st
Good
best.
fantasy receiver, though.
He's the 21st best prospect, it said.
Want me to try to pronounce this guy's name? Dmitry Simashev?
I think that's probably accurate. But did you see his face?
When he got picked?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was stunned. He didn't like it. Was that me?
That's
and they had Carey Price handle the pick for the Canadiens, and it got a little awkward. We have the audio here.
Bonsoir. Le Canadiens de Montreal are proud to select David.
Hello.
Hear the cheers?
We planned it that way. David Reinbacher.
I stand.
So David Reinbacher, that was the player many people
Had
thought
trouble pronouncing Reinbacher?
I think he just forgot.
Yeah.
Jinx Coke.
What did he call Montreal? How do you pronounce Montreal?
Oh, you want to hear it again? Here, take a listen.
Yeah, it's just...
Bonsoir. Le Canadien de Montreal.
What?
Canadien de Montreal.
He's speaking French.
Canadians of Montreal.
Yeah, I just didn't understand how he said Montreal.
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 When you speak French, you have to go nasal. I remember taking it in 5th grade at St. Gabriel's. What a wonderful global language program we have at St. Gabriel's. Well, it's an international business hotbed. And I remember the the teacher saying, act like you have like a stuffed up nose, like, like that sound. La voiture, la voiture. What does that mean? Elevator? Think about that. Montreal. So I guess you're not pronouncing Montreal.
I think even in French, Montreal is Montreal.
Well, I mean, you can take it up with the guy who was the netminder for the team.
He didn't sound French when he was talking otherwise.
I don't know if he is French Canadian.
I don't think he is. So don't speak French if you're not French.
So people can't speak the language of other countries if they're not from there?
That's a great American tenet.
Don't try to get their accent in there. Montreal.
I've learned all my French from Manuel.
It's like when...
That's his move, man. Oh, my God. He sets off the sprinkler system when he goes with that French in the ear.
It's like when these guys, Americans, are talking hockey and they got to have some good offense. Don't act like you're Canadian.
Speaking of stopped up noses, stop the nose whistles, please. Thanks. That's from Mr. Big Green.
Shut up. Get back to this again. Jesus Christ.
Price speaks French. It's from the 618.
So what? He's not French.
But he should, if you're speaking a language, you should try to match the accent.
You got to appease to your family.
Otherwise, people might not understand what you're saying if you don't match the accent.
Well, in particular, not that I've done a lot of time in Quebec, but my understanding is that is a big part of the operation in Montreal. Is you got to dance with the French language. You can't just go up there and speak English.
Who made the pick? Who made the pick with the Russians? Did they talk Russian?
Plowhawk?
No, I think they're... Well, the
Why?
pick,
When you're picking a Russian, you got to talk Russian.
The Russian at pick 6, I do believe, was a Russian... I don't know if it was a former player, but...
Did he do it in Russian?
Because the video went everywhere when that dude went 6, and he had no idea he was going to go in the top 10. He's like, he's literally the 21st ranked prospect, so that's probably very shocking to a lot of teams.
My point is, if you're not from that country, don't act like you are.
I don't know.
That is a very American take.
But what about the fact that the fan base is heavily popular?
Well, there's a lot of Americans watching, too.
I don't know. If I had to get...
I never thought we'd have an uproar over the French language on this program, but we have one right now in the EDF group text.
Well, I'm an American. I had no clue what he said.
Well, you don't speak French.
Well, a lot of people listening and watching didn't either.
Right, but they're
just say the Montreal Canadiens selected, you couldn't even get the guy's name out. It was Friedberg or something. How tough is that? Friedberg. You can speak French, but you can't speak English?
I don't think the pick was for you.
I know it wasn't.
Okay.
Who would be a pick for you?
It's like Brad Faxon and Brandel. Price is from Canada, dumbass! It's from Big Old Fan. Big Old Fan, call in 636-9004-TMA.
Is he French-Canadian?
I would be surprised if he is French-Canadian.
There you go. There's no French in him. You can be from Canada if you're not French-Canadian. You don't know French.
He's from Vancouver, so no.
There you go. He's not French-Canadian.
Somehow I actually knew that, and I have no idea. He is speaking French because the fan base is French, not because the player was French. You cannot possibly be this dense. That's from the Crystal City Clamhammer.
You're missing the point. All right, when they make the Blues trade, you're talking to the St. Louis fans, right? All right, did you hear him say, all right, guys, our next pick's going to be for this guy from Russia.
Come into balloon
party. Speak like that, did he?
Come on into balloon party.
That's the base.
We'll just take the audio if you don't want to come in.
This will go down as one of the worst takes ever by Iggy. The Brentwood Education is showing that's from Mr. Licks. If you're not from that country, don't act like you are, says the elderly gentleman who pronounced vitamin with a short I to sound British. That's from Andy in St. Peter.
That is damning evidence.
No, I don't have the accent.
You saying vitamin is...
Well, a lot of people say vitamin.
A lot of British people.
A lot of people say vitamin.
Not Americans.
Yeah, they do. Prove me wrong.
Okay, fair enough.
The only one missing the point is you, dumbass. It's from Wooden Shoe 02. This is the voice of the French Canadian this morning.
Yeah. This is French Canada coming all together against Iggy right now.
No, I would like to know what he said. If I was watching, I'm American. Oh, Montreal's picking. I guess it's all going to be in French now. Got to turn the subtitles on.
Well, what they do is they'll speak English, then they speak French, then they go back to speaking English, then they speak French. That is what they usually do. Yes. That is just their move.
Yeah, well, it's dumb.
but a healthy percentage of the fan base speaks French.
All right, but they understand what Montreal means. I think Montreal in French is Montreal. He just did the accent. He didn't speak French. I think Montreal in French is pronounced Montreal.
Right, but pronunciation is such a big part of that.
Well, I know, but he's not speaking the language. He's just doing an accent.
I like how the guy who cannot properly pronounce 80% of the words he tries to say is telling others how to speak. That's from Larry Thornton.
No, I'm really speaking in French. That's why you can't understand me.
I really like to speak French. I like to speak a bunch
know,
of
I
different
wish I-
French would
languages.
be the best language I would like to learn. It's so sexy.
Works
Yeah.
for Manuel.
I think Italian would be up there too.
I've said this before. That's one of the things that I regret is not learning another language. I work with a guy in Bermuda, Abadan Kabata.
Who wants that text inbox saying?
That can't be real.
Is he French
That-
Canadian?
That's not real.
Abadan Kabata.
Mesfin?
No, he was from Bombay.
So was Mesfin, though.
I don't know where Mesfin was from. But he spoke 8 languages fluently.
Wow.
And
That is impressive.
spoke Mandarin a little bit as his ninth language.
KG speaks Spanish.
Anybody who would come into the restaurant, whatever country they're from, he'd speak German, French, Portuguese, Spanish. It was really cool to listen to him talk.
Iggy, you want to do a video where I teach you some Spanish?
Oh, wow, this will be fun. Like a Rosetta Stone.
Yeah.
I could use some.
Vámonos.
Yeah, for Senior Cielos.
Well, and be able to talk to people in my complex.
There you go. Seems like it's a win-win.
I really don't want to talk to most of them, but it'd be nice to go to the laundromat and me learn how to speak Spanish. To say, get off the table. That's people fold their clothes there, idiot. Just teach me that.
Would you rather know
I
how to
got
play
you.
an instrument or speak another language? Like play the guitar
It
or
was
speak
guitar.
French?
I mean, if I was really good.
Right, you'd be fluent in Spanish, or you could play the guitar.
Oh, guitar, without a doubt.
No one, and I mean no one, calls vitamins vitamins. Also, can Hubbard send Ken to Quebec with a GoPro and a $100 bill attached to his face and see what happens?
I'd be in for that.
Ken does Quebec.
Orson Woods Wacko is activated, and he is not particularly happy at the moment, although a number of people who must have ties to Montreal are not. Please call in, Mr. Licks. I want Iggy to pot you down to make it 3 days in a row. And you, KG, bad move hitching your wagon to the in-law dependent dork. That's from the Orson Woods Wacko.
Taste me, wacko.
Oh, my God.
Good for you.
Well, you're in bed with this, Mr. Licks. Guys, I like when Ken calls people idiots. Thanks. That's from Chairman Steve in Wildwood.
Well, the idiot that I called was people that sit up on the table where you fold your clothes, and they're sitting Indian style with their legs crossed, and they got their dirty shoes on the table. Well, people fold their clothes there. Get off there. This isn't some flop house.
Flop house. I like that. My dad used that term when he was
so
yelling at
did
us.
my mom.
I'm not really sure.
Clean
what
up
it
your
is.
room. This isn't a
I don't
flop
either.
house.
I just knew over time that it was a negative thing because we'd be getting yelled at about it not being a flop house.
That and flop sweat. I'm so in on.
Yeah, my mom would always say that. Why don't you clean this room? This isn't a flop house.
I like
Look
it.
up.
I like it. Yeah, what is a flop house?
I think it's back in the Western days when kind of like the cowboys would be in their rooms. It was a flop house.
A chief hooked.
What in the hell is that?
You opening up letters back there, dog?
Oh, my bad.
Mic switch. It giveth and it taketh away.
Oh, and here comes KG in O-Town. What do we got here? Is he giving Iggy some Spanish?
What does that say? I'm not going to say it on the air if there's some cussing in there.
Table. People put their clothes there.
Okay.
What do you got there? Say it, Iggy.
Salad mesa. La gueva porna. Soropa calis.
Wonderful.
Count me in.
Seamless.
How do you say idiot?
Idiota.
Idioto. Hey, idioto.
Oh, this would be a tough lesson. I couldn't do it either. I could not learn another language. I did 4 years of Spanish and didn't retain.
And you didn't learn any?
Me
Didn't retain
neither.
any of
Yeah,
it.
same. I'm the same way.
Madison was great at it. She can do it, but
Yeah,
not my style.
I then took Latin to finish.
Well, you
out
took
my-
Latin too?
So you had to do 4 years of a language for most state universities, and if you did that, you didn't have to take a language in college, which language in college is way harder than high school. So I did 3 years of Spanish, and then wrapped it up with 1 year of Latin, and I don't know anything of Latin.
Is Hebrew a language?
Absolutely.
I'm serious, because when you do like the bar mitzvah and they do that thing, that's Hebrew, right?
Yes. At one point, I spoke pretty good Hebrew.
All right.
But no, I retained none of that either. Well, yeah, I went to Hebrew school twice a week for 4 or 5 years.
You know, my Spanish teacher in high school, Mr. Siders, we had to get a new Spanish teacher because he got arrested. He was in a high-speed police chase, and he had a bunch of cocaine in his motorcycle.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God.
That's why maybe I didn't retain a lot of the information. It was a pretty big story when it came out.
If you run into somebody with a bunch of cocaine in their motorcycle, you could get into an accident. If that happens, things can spiral out of control very quickly. That's for C.D. Longo and Doug Biggs of the Longo Biggs Injury Law Firm. Will take all the complication and hassle out of your injury claim. They will deal with the insurance company and take the fight head on, allowing you to get back to what's important, which is recovering from your injuries. Injury cases can be complex. Each case and accident is different, and every fact is important when building a case. People often wonder how injured victims get large settlements or verdicts, and the short answer is because they are represented by effective and skilled lawyers who understand how to get every dollar out of their case, and that's what you'll get at Longo Biggs Injury. Skilled trial lawyers who will go to battle for you to fight against the deceitful tactics of insurance companies. You will get personal attention as either Doug or CD will personally handle your case. You will get to know them just as they will get to know you in every last detail of your case. They are local lawyers who care about their reputation and building relationships with their clients. Go to longobiggs.com. In injury cases, there can be a lot of money on the line, and you shouldn't trust your case with just anyone. CD and Doug are trial lawyers. They are St. Louisans. They are TMA listeners. Go to longobiggs.com. That's LONGOBIGGS.com. Longo Biggs, Injury Law, accepting personal injury, wrongful death, brain injury, and catastrophic injury cases. LongoBiggs.com. Remember, the choice of an attorney is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements. Jackson, tell the people about your financial advisor, whose name is Mark Hanna, and he is with Evergreen Wealth Strategies online at evergreenstl.com.
Indeed, he is, Tim. I started working with Mark about a year and some change ago, maybe a little, or maybe longer than that. And I can tell you right now that my financial situation is in such a better position.
Wow, I feel like I'm at Bar Napoli.
And it's not necessarily like, oh, I have more money in my checking account. But I'm so much better set up for my financial future. It's tips that Mark Hanna can give you. Just the act of saving. It's not necessarily the monetary value of what you're saving. It's the act of saving, getting in that habit. And then one day, if you're like me, just starting out your financial planning, you'll start to make a little bit more money, and you put more and more into that account. You put more and more savings away. But you already have that good habit of savings. And let's say that you're saving up for your kid's college fund or your own personal retirement. Mark Hanna can help you with all of that. If things change down the road, you get on the phone with Mark Hanna. He conveys his message so well. He's got so much knowledge, so much wisdom, and the way he conveys that really separates him from the competition. That's why I work with Mark Hanna. That's exactly why you should work with Mark Hanna.
314-889-0503 or go online at evergreenstl.com. That's Mark Hanna with Evergreen Wealth Strategies. Looking for a place to hang out on a hot St. Louis summer night? How about Ted Drew's? Take the family down there. 2 locations to take great care of you. One off of Chippewa, and the South Grand location is back open as well. It opened up in 1931, and it is the oldest frozen custard stand still in operation today. It is Ted Drew's with a new flavor for the summer of 2023. It's the City Red, Ted's delicious vanilla custard blended with maraschino cherries, coconut flakes, and Dad's Scotch oatmeal cookie, served as a concrete or as a sundae. The Cardinal Sin is served as a concrete or as a sundae. The Dutchman is Ted's delicious vanilla custard with chocolate, butterscotch, and pecans. And then the Lemon Crumb, which is Ted's delicious vanilla custard mixed with lemon cream and graham crackers, available as a concrete or as a sundae. All of these flavors and many, many more are available at Ted Drew's, a great sponsor of TMA and a tradition for St. Louisans. Go to the location on Chippewa or South Grand. It is Ted Drew's. It really is good, guys and gals. Get involved on the program by texting in 314-881-TMA5. Call in 636-9004-TMA. And email in for our Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email of the day, the morning after, at InsideSTL.com. Friendly housekeeping news and notes. The program will be off on Monday and Tuesday as Hubbard is off for the 4th of July festivities, so giving everybody a 4-day weekend which is glorious. And then TMA is off on Wednesday. Then the show will get back going on Thursday and Friday. And I will be appearing via the Google Chromebook for maybe an hour, Jackson. I don't know. I'll pop in, talk it over,
hang out. It'll be great.
And just join the festivities. KG in O-Town, you're going to be in while I'm out of town?
Yes, sir.
That's one. All the shows?
There might be one where I may have to make some arrangements or not be able to be here, but almost all of them.
God bless.
We appreciate you.
And Jackson and I, we will be off of Balloon Party for a week and a half, and that's going to cause a lot of supportive texts.
They're going to
from 10 to 11.
It's going to be of monumental proportions.
I'd do it with you, Jackson.
How about that? I was sitting with Tommy yesterday, and he goes, "So you want to take that?" I go, "Yeah, I'd like to take the Balloon Party portion completely off. I'll do TMA." He goes, "That's totally up to you." He goes, "Totally up to you." He goes, "I think you need some time off, but if you really," I said, I think it's good if I just pop up here and there. So I'll pop up here and there. Balloon Party. And I was thinking to myself, I think Jackson can just go in there and kind of Jim Rome it.
It's just like when I give a good take, like have like a sounder, it's like, nice. And then like that will be my transition point to like who I think will be Rookie of the Year in the NBA in 2023-24. I think there's a lot of value on Chet Holmgren. Your thoughts?
Oh, wow. Could he win Rookie of the Year?
Absolutely. Yeah. And then, I'd take mic drops. Yeah. It would just be like me in the command center.
Oh, could you imagine?
You interested?
Well, I would actually, if I were to do Balloon that hour, I would need someone else in there with me to
Tim,
just at least be like.
Would you podcast?
Like a voice so that I could like rest.
Well, you know
for
what?
a
I actually
second.
probably would check in.
I'd check in.
Like there could be a moment where like, because sometimes like I'll lose my train of thought because I lose focus in the middle of a sentence, and there could be like I'm like giving a take and I just stop midway.
No, that like Carey Price giving out the
Yeah,
the
and I would
pick
just stop what I'm saying.
Marmol.
And be like hello, and go right back into it.
49ers.
Right. That was actually the moment. That was a very Sports Center update. So I sympathize with Carey.
Jackson, can Rivers come in for Balloon Party with you? That's from the 618.
I mean, he'll have to bone up on his hoops knowledge, but yeah.
I want a Jackson and Rockio Balloon Party duo. That's from Big Tuft.
Be a lot of yelling back and forth. Rock raises his voice quickly, and I think there would be some entertainment value in it. But like, it would be one thing if like this was like actually during the NBA playoffs, and there would be like it would be what you could like convince itself to be relevant. If it's Rock and I talking baseball and then forcing basketball talk,
they won't be happy with you.
No, but they wouldn't be happy regardless.
Take your 10 days off and be happy.
Well, you get 10 days off for Balloon Party.
That's what I mean.
I'm happy doing it, happy being off, just happy, baby.
There you go. He's just a happy baby.
you didn't seem too thrilled.
No, to each his own. I mean, if I had 10 days off, what can I do to work? No, just thank you.
Right.
See you in 10 days.
I'm already going to be here.
Well, that's true, but
if they want me, I'm ready. If they don't want me,
like you would do it by yourself?
If it was asked, hey, like we want you to do this by yourself, then yes, I would do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
If I still followed sports, I'd come in with you. But I don't.
I think it'd be better that you don't, actually.
No, I don't follow sports anymore.
But
I don't have to.
Now, why do you
so
say it'd be better if he didn't? Joining me this week while Tim's on vacation is Ken Iggy Strode. He has 30 years in the St. Louis sports radio industry, and he's going to be with me as we navigate Balloon Party here for the next couple of weeks. Iggy, thanks for coming in.
No, I don't. I think it would be great to have Iggy in. I'm saying it'd be better if you don't watch sports. If like you continue to not watch sports, I think it would be better.
I mean, I watch golf.
I would,
but I don't care. I don't read the paper. I don't watch the news.
Save
unless
this
it
for the
pops
show.
up on Twitter or Facebook, I really don't know. I mean, the Cardinals, I look at the box score every day and look at the highlights 'cause I know we'll talk about it. But I didn't. My brother-in-law even texted me last night, "You watching the hockey game, LOL?" I go,
Hockey game.
I mean, you watching the draft? Because he knows I don't watch hockey. No.
Yeah, we could share that. We could be like the anti-hockey.
I'm not going to come in and make a fool of myself.
I do it every day. It's pretty fun.
But I mean, I don't watch sports. It reminds me of when Jay and I were doing a morning show with Craig Hawksley. Remember Craig?
Hawksley.
Rest in peace. I think he passed away last year, maybe. But me, Jay, and Hawksley were doing a show. And we were in the same building in Clayton as KZK. So me, Jay, and Ed Goodman would always go out. You didn't have to go outside to smoke. We just go in the hallway and smoke out by the steps. So we get done with the segment. Somebody had called in and said something derogatory about Craig's wife. about where they were going to watch the game that night.
Well, you never bring the family into it.
No, you never do. And he was pissed. So we go out into the hallway to smoke, and Hawksley comes out. He goes, "That's it. I've had enough. I quit. I don't even like sports." And we're doing a sports show for like a year, and he wanted to quit. I said, "I don't even like sports."
I like this guy.
Jackson, if you want an additional 10 days off, make up a story about falling in your shower and hurting your shoulder. That's from Lance Painter. Very unfortunate comment. Why the hell does Iggy have a margarine tub in the work fridge with colorless shrimp cocktails still with the poop vein in them? What is that? I don't even know what this means.
How do you know when I brought into...
Yeah, is Wolf Boy work here?
What does that mean? Why the hell does Iggy have a margarine tub in the work fridge with colorless shrimp cocktails still with the poop vein in them?
Well, they have that. The shrimps have that vein.
Well, they're not. They're cleaned and deveined.
But how would somebody know?
I don't know.
I remember right before we started the show, you said you brought in shrimp, and since Doug's not here...
Was the mics on?
I might have posted a picture.
Oh, my God!
I can't remember.
Jesus.
Content. I wasn't poking fun.
Well, it made fun because they're talking about the color of them. There's poop veins. No, they're all deveined
Thunderdome
and cleaned, and they're very good too. So
they look great. I might have some.
Let's all share some right now in the
Somebody
middle
said
of the
there's
studio.
a picture on the fan page.
Oh, well, I wouldn't see that.
I was starting to think Wolf Boy worked inside the building.
Yeah, salesperson or something.
Yeah.
Well, the reason I
Or
boiled
Riz, it's Riz.
the reason I boiled him is because first of all, Doug's not in here today, so I wasn't going to bring him in for him. I just boiled them with a little Cajun sauce, and I put some of that Rockstar
the dust?
taco dust on there.
That's
Let's all eat some shrimp
But I
together.
put it in the water. I didn't put it on the shrimp. Put it in the water with a little Cajun seasoning, and let that boil for about 15 minutes to get that nice flavor in the water. Throw the shrimp in there for like 5 minutes, pull them out, and so you don't have to warm them up. They're kind of like shrimp cocktails, so you can eat them cold if you want. So if somebody wants them, they can without stinking up the office because you don't have to put them in the microwave.
I can't eat cold food. I can't eat food that's supposed to be warm cold. I can't do it.
Well,
it's
shrimp
something
related unless you get scampi. I mean, shrimp cocktail is supposed to be cold.
What's scampi?
It's shrimp, but you do it differently. You cook it differently. They're bigger shrimp and usually butterfly them. And
Guys, the guy critical of Carey Price's language just asked, was the mics on? And that was said by an American in English on these airways. Thank you. That's from Wedding Tech.
Yeah, Wedding Tech. I'm speaking so somebody like you, like a Hoosier, can understand what I'm saying.
You think Lang Tech was a Hoosier?
That's all I can say. I mean,
Nice.
You understood what I said, right? So you must speak Hoosier.
Oh, my God. Get involved in the program, 314-881-TMA5. You're welcome to call in 636-9004-TMA or email in for our Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email today. And apply to be the TMA Listener of the Month, which is presented to you by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to a brighter side of tequila with Milagro. You can apply at TMASTL.com. Guys, the guy who has called somebody a Hoosier brings shrimp to the workplace in an old used tub of country crock fake butter. Remember, not a Hoosier. That's from Jenny Talia.
What's the difference if I put it in that or I put it in a Tupperware?
I agree.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Why would you throw it away? When you get done with the butter, you put it in there, use it as kind of like Tupperware, except it's not see-through. And Doug has all my Tupperware. I gave him every time I bring fish in, I put it in the Tupperware, about 5 of them, and he hasn't brought them back. So I'm down to using country crock bowls and Cool Whip bowls and cottage cheese bowls. That's what I use.
It's all high class.
It's not high class, but it does the trick.
So there's a country crock thing sitting in the work refrigerator with a bunch of shrimp.
Who's taking it?
2 pounds of shrimp.
2 pounds of shrimp?
2 pounds of shrimp.
So who's going to take it?
I'm going to have some. I'll be right back.
It's
Oh, nice.
so fat.
So KG's going to have some, or is it just open for everyone?
Yeah.
Send an email. Send an email out to everyone saying,
We're going to do that.
shrimp in the fridge.
We're probably all doing
I can put
emails
a-
saying,
I can put a piece of paper back there that says there's shrimp in the
2-pound
fridge.
carrot cake.
There's shrimp in the fridge, whoever wants it.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. I think people would love to sit around the table and enjoy some shrimp today.
I only told 2 people that was in there. I told Learn and I told Liv there's some in there if they want it.
Lives here today?
No, but for her afternoon snack when she comes in, it's in there.
So you text her?
I DM'd her. I don't have her number. Well, I do, but I don't use it.
Jamie Burkhardt, who is the general manager at Munganess St. Louis Acura and Alton Toyota, just texted me, and I mean, he's the title sponsor of Balloon Party.
He is.
I mean, I feel like he's got some sway, and he wants Jackson to do the show when I'm on vacation.
Listen, I am very willing to do so. I feel like when I'm on 101, I can't fully, I don't know, like sink into the conversation solely because I feel like with every word, the world is about to collapse on my shoulders as I do it.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know why it is. I never feel more like...
Tense?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that because you're running the board?
A little bit.
Is that board different than this board? I have no idea.
Oh, sure.
I don't know how to run any board.
Yeah, it is.
I'm
but
sure.
It's like nothing that, like, I can't, if I don't touch anything, nothing's going to go wrong, you know?
Right.
Like, during the show, like, I'm certainly much more used to it. I would say that plays a part in it. I just never feel, comfortable is the wrong word, but I never feel like locked in fully when I do it. Like, I always feel like I'm, I don't know, going to say
You should have
something
sat
dumb
down
or
with
something.
You should have sat down with Barrett last week when he was here. He could have helped you out.
Maybe, but I don't know. I don't know what it is about that, where I don't feel that way on QFTA or I don't feel that way on here. It's so strange. I don't know, it kind of feels like with TMA and with QFTA, it's like kind of like doing our thing, and like 101, it's like we're guests at the adult pool, and I don't want to make mistakes.
Yeah, you're on a big station down there.
I don't want to make mistakes. So, but maybe if I did it by myself, that could free me up. You know, I could really, I could really get loose. It'd be my thing, and I would
Don't
just
look at the text inbox. That would be my first piece of counsel.
Right. I would just go into it knowing, like, okay, like, this is change, and we all know that the other side of change is the golden goose.
I agree
but
with that.
People are resistant to change, so just going into that with that mindset, it could free me up, and maybe I could, you know, rally and do some good radio.
Look at this.
So
Let's get this going.
I'm very open to doing it. I'm very open to doing it.
But why not go into Tommy's office and say, hey, I know you're not sure what to do with Balloon Party while Tim's on vacation. I would like to host the program for those 8 shows.
All right. I mean, I could be like, hey, I know that know, you don't know what you want to do. I am available. I am available to do it. If that's what you want to do, I'm very open and receptive to
But saying I am available is different than saying I would like to.
I know.
But if you wouldn't like to, then don't say it. If you're not comfortable doing it, then don't put yourself through it, because it's going to cause anxiety, and it's not like you're all of a sudden going to receive, you know, a $10,000 check if you do it. So
I would want someone else in there. I would not want to do
okay. Who you want in there? I think the Plowhawk would activate the audience in a heartbeat.
Yeah, Plowhawk.
I would love to hear that with the Cardinal discussion.
I'd go on a couple rants.
Rockio. I think Rockio.
Yeah,
me and
Rockio would be
Rockio.
fun. Yeah, what about you, Plowhawk and Rockio? I'd listen to that.
I think that'd be great. That
What about
count me
that?
all the way in.
Hey, Tommy.
I got a new name for it, the Producer's Pit.
Yeah, or just...
Well, he was talking about, when I first talked about vacation, he was talking about putting you and Marshy Marsh and the Playful Posse and Rockio and Tanner, who produces BK and Ferrario, in there. And I thought, oh, that'd be interesting.
Down for that?
You, Plowhawk, and Rockio.
I think that'd be great.
See how it goes.
Yeah.
I mean, so many of the people who are hosting shows on 101 or have recently started out as producers.
Yeah, right, big time.
BK was a producer.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Stalter?
Was he?
I think so. I could be wrong.
I remember hearing Anthony. I've told Anthony this, and I remember texting Bernie Miklasz this. Bernie was off one day, and I was listening to 101. This is a while ago, because Anthony's been here a while now. And I was listening, and I remember texting Bernie. I think Bernie was doing middays at the time, and this is, like I said, probably a decade ago. I have no idea. And I said, man, I don't know who that is who's filling in for you, but he is outstanding. It's kind of like when I heard Hey Kay Adams the first time, and she was like popping up on Jennings' show with producer Joe and Sarah Bruce on 590. And I'm like, I think I texted Prod Joe, and I go, who the hell is this? And I didn't know anything about her appearance. That's, you know, neither here nor there. She's obviously beautiful, but you could just tell that she was good. She had it. She had the pacing, the inflection, knowledge, humor. Man, you can't teach that stuff. So Stalter had that, but if he was a producer, I didn't know that.
Michelle Smallman.
Michelle was a producer. She was Bernie's producer.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm missing another one. Point being, that's kind of the farm system at 101.
Right, yeah.
There you go.
Hey,
this is your moment. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes only once in a lifetime.
You better.
Nice.
Yeah. No, 100. Listen,
Don't view it as a vacation. View it as an opportunity.
Opportunity for greatness and positive growth. That's what I'm all about, baby.
about positive growth, conquering one's fears.
You, Plowhawk, and Rockio. There you go. There's balloon party for the 8 days. I'm vacationing in the Hamptons.
I love it. I do. I would.
Do
I
you?
would.
All
I
right,
would do,
you like that?
Doing it by myself, count me out.
I
Doing it
understand
with
that.
others, count me in.
I had been told for a number of years by a couple of people, and I think in part they were trying to just hire me and minimize expenses, and I respect that. I don't take that offense to that. That's probably smart business. Oh, you can do a show by yourself. And I go, no. I just run point on the show. It's not me. It's the group that makes the show work and the advertising revenue and so on and so forth. And so I had never even done anything by myself, truly by myself in broadcasting until I started doing my podcast in 2017, and I had to intro the interviews. And poor Sea Monster, who had to be like this guy, I would do like 10-minute intros. And I go, what in the hell am I doing? But then I'm just like, I can keep going and going. And as now you've experienced on QFTA, I mean, I could go for 4 hours.
Oh, yeah.
And again, which I don't think is a talent, I think it speaks to something being mentally off. Now, it might be called a talent, but it's not. It's something is off with me. So it's good in the sense that you are a normal functioning human who couldn't talk to yourself for an hour.
Yeah,
that's what I'm telling you.
God,
it's a good thing as far as is functioning with other normal human beings. So I get that. I think you could do it, but you're also 25, and it took me until being like, I don't even know, around 40 before I was doing it. So, yeah, if your comfort level is working with the Plowhawk and Rockio, I think it'll be a great show, especially considering the Cardinals and all that's going on.
Yeah, and
the
Rockets.
Plowhawk's passion and Rockio gets worked up.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a good show. Hell, it might turn into a show.
Oh, they want to hire me immediately if it was up to the fans.
And
I'm about to lay the woodwork.
And I kind of know what strings to pull for both Rockio and Plowhawk to get them really going, like to get them really fired up. And I think it could be special.
Yeah, I think we got something here. I really am bullish on this.
Have Marshy Marsh come in for a little bit of it, maybe, see what he has to say.
Guys, as a balloon party listener, since I follow Tim wherever he may go, I am totally on board with that trio. That is from Stepdad Gary.
Yeah, I love it, man.
I'm going to take the over on you popping in for an hour while on the island. Also, if you would like me to fill in on 101, please speak to my representative, KG in O-Town. That's Stephen Wildwood. So Stephen Wildwood hired you, KG in O-Town?
Not that I'm aware of, but I'm open to listen to what he has to say.
You're going to be representing everybody in the audience. Will you represent the Orson Woods Wacko?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Now that would go against Mr. Licks, who I feel like is your biggest client.
Well, I'm here to diversify.
Wow.
Licks will be happy. I played a live roster this week.
He's fired up. He's fired up, probably.
Well, it was such a terrible field at the Rocket Mortgage. I said, I'm going to play a little $1 live game.
Gonna watch on the CW?
Yeah, I watched.
Are they still CWing?
I can imagine.
Guys, Rock Jackson and Plowsy will talk basketball for 15 minutes, and ESPN will have listeners storming the gates of Creve Court to get them off the air. That's from the Chicago Ginger.
That's the problem at the moment. Is like there's like no way we could justify talking basketball because we could not be further from any sort of basketball being played. I gotta be talking a little WNBA.
Well, I notice because over your head, you know the monitors.
Yeah.
Where I make my observation on Molly Querim, who I've discovered I've fallen in love with, and I didn't realize I had, but because she's on over your head during Balloon Party, and then also Stephen A. Smith is always yelling, and Dan Orlowski always is looking confused while Stephen A. Smith is yelling. That's what I see for an hour on those TVs. That they do not talk baseball at all on those shows, which is the only season that's really going on. They obviously don't talk NHL. They talk about NBA or NFL, and the topics are, which quarterback is poised for the best bounce back in the AFC, and they will scream at each other about such an outdated. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. And then the NBA, of course, that's what they talk about. It's NFL and NBA. And listen, we might mock it in St. Louis because we don't have it in part. And also probably some latent racism, if I'm being really honest about it. But the reality is that is what is incredibly popular, and I'm confident that they have research that says, yeah, you're better off talking out-of-season NBA and NFL than you are talking in-season Major League Baseball.
Well, by golly, I'm so in.
There you go.
Yeah. I saw the other day they were saying who had the better career. LeBron or Tom Brady, and count me in. I could do a whole hour.
Well, how could you like to engage in that conversation?
I'll go. Bill Russell's overrated. I'll regurgitate.
You'll play your hits.
I saw you say something about KD the other day too.
Oh yeah, Charmin song.
But Tiki, are you coming back to football because you miss it, or are you coming back to football because you just had a big failure in broadcasting?
That'll be asked when Tim returns.
Hey guys. Iggy's trying to get the attention back on him. Hey guys, I'm playing a Live Golf DraftKings roster. Guys, that's from the Kansas City Grace section.
I'm sitting here being as happy as a bug in a rug.
Bug in a rug. Snug as a bug in a rug.
Happy as a lark.
Happy as a bug in a rug.
That's the title of this segment.
I'm snug as a
Happy as a
lark. I need 101 Plowsy. Plowsy versus Basement People is the matchup of a lifetime. That's from caller Buzz.
We'll see.
Plowhawk, you've never seen a text. If you think this is rough and it turns you to the dark side, you have no idea. And the thing is, the people who listen to Balloon Party, many of whom are not familiar with TMA, would have no idea. And they would hear your very distinct voice and your takes. The thing is, your takes, a lot of those people would share them with you. So you might become their favorite.
Yeah, but my takes also come out like an 11-year-old boy who looks like a lesbian.
That's fine.
So, like, at least there's no cameras.
You guys will be on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
The YouTube is starting soon on 101.
Yeah.
All right. What should I wear?
I want Rocky to run the board. I've never sat in the 101 studio not behind the board, and I think that could really open me up. I could become a real takesmith.
Caller Ellen is on line 2, and she wants to pump up Jackson. Here you go. Jackson, you're getting, this is like Kurt Russell playing the role of, who the hell was the, Herb Brooks, thank you. I was about to call him Ned for some reason.
Ned Reynolds, yeah.
Kurt Russell
boys
playing
better
Ned
get out there and beat their ass tonight. Trust me.
Yes, caller Ellen, pump up Jackson, because we want to make this a reality while I'm on vacation.
This is Jackson's aunt, caller Ellen, and I just think he is absolutely capable of doing this. And yes. I texted before you guys even put together the Rockio and Plowsy trio, which, holy cow, that would be so much fun. And Jackson, I just think it's a big chance for you to kind of do your own thing a little bit. I mean,
here you go. It's time. Spread your wings.
Yeah, I want to fly.
It's not a vacation. It's an opportunity.
Right.
It's a
grind never
huge
stops.
opportunity. You are 25 years old. An opportunity for HD1, and who knows where it could lead. But all to say,
I can give you a ballpark salary range if you want to know.
A lot of fun.
I'm trying to be the next Dan Orlovsky, so this is right where I want to be.
Jackson,
don't
pass this up.
Oh my God! Look at Johnny Ambition over here.
I agree with Ellen. I mean, you're a young kid. You shouldn't pass this up. Look what I did.
Hey, look at this. This is good counsel right now.
I had the chance when you man went on vacation to go do a week at KC.
Yeah.
I said, no, I'm on vacation.
That's right.
I think if I would have done that, and then U-Man happens to retire, which he did, Iggy, I know you love TMA. The KC Morning Show is available. I may have had that opportunity. I blew it. Don't you do that. You have 10 days to go in there and make a name for yourself as a sports show host.
Count me in.
Do it.
Wow.
I'm in.
You're going to storm Tommy's office right now. Said me, Plowhawk, and Rockio, Balloon Party, 8 shows.
Yeah, I have to pee first, but then I'll do it.
Nice.
And Ellen is exactly right. So listen to Ellen.
I echo that. I, too, am an old and have many regrets. And Jackson, you're learn from other people's experience. So it's your big chance.
All right. Hey.
Here we go. I like this.
I really appreciate Caller Ellen. I always appreciate
I'm clapping.
the
You
kind
hear me
words.
clapping?
Yeah, she's fun. Listen to this locker room. People are fired up.
Listen, yeah. I'm receptive to the pumping up. Count me in. I want to do it, but I got to have my guys with me.
I can text you throughout the shows. You're doing great. You're doing great.
There you go.
Thank you.
How many rings you have
That's what I'm
on?
good for.
Can you clap? Can you clap
All
again?
right, gang.
Clap again real
I'm
quick.
going to hang up. I'm done with my encouragement, but
All right.
have a good day.
She just totally blew you off.
That was
like when Jackson was talking to Ric Flair.
Yeah, that was a swim move.
I thought it sounded like she had like 10 rings on. It sounded like a bunch of metal clapping together.
Guys, Jackson had his mom call in for him. Damn Gen Z. That's the Warson Woods wacko, who KG and O-Town might be representing now, along with Mr. Licks.
Not my mom. Caller Ellen is not my mom.
I actually had a listener give me a TMA conspiracy theory.
It's good.
That caller Ellen was Mrs. Burkett.
No.
We've all met Ellen.
I can tell you with 100% certainty that is. I've met Jackson's mother and I've met caller Ellen, and I can tell you they are not the same people.
Right. My mom's name is Ellen, but caller Ellen's name isn't Ellen, so it's like.
Could you be bringing a fake mom to events when you introduce her to us and not letting us know Ellen's
like
your mom.
Cherie DeVille or Brandy Love.
Oh, no,
I'm not
stepmom, what are you
following any
doing?
of this. What do you guys? What was the question? Should I bring a fake mom?
No, Ellen is really your mother.
Oh.
Call her Ellen, and you
No.
bring this fake lady with your dad when you introduce it as my mom.
First of all, you don't have a mom because you're not married, so your kids don't have that mom that
I
you're
need like
dating.
a graph chart of what's going on. No, my mother, who you've met at events, is absolutely my mother. Journalist.
Jackson, listen to Ken. Always do the opposite of what Iggy would do career-wise. That's from Big Tough.
I've lasted 32 years doing this.
Yeah.
I can't retire, but I've lasted 32 years in radio.
Big Tough, take that. Tim, what is Jackson's mom like? She's a very nice woman. Couldn't be. She was a great writer.
Mm-hmm.
And couldn't be kinder. I met her. I was going to see a movie with my wife, and she introduced her. This was well before I met you.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I met your dad that day as well. I've played golf with your dad now since.
Probably.
Just a wonderful family.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, I really appreciate it. My mom still writes, still the editor of the St. Louis Jewish Light, reader.
I'm a big fan of Mr. and Mrs. Burkett as well.
How can you not be?
Ah, thanks, KG. They're big fans of you as well. They're big fans of all of you. They love that I do this show.
Who do they kind of dislike, though? Who do they kind of dislike?
They don't kind of dislike any. My dad disagrees with a lot of Plowsy's Cardinal takes, but
Oh, is that right?
Oh, big time, yeah. But
I'm tuning into 101 next week.
oh, he'll be locked in.
I think you, Plowhawk, could be a hit on 101.
Sure, I don't know
I'm
if that's
dead
what
serious.
I want, though.
But the thing is, like, I have found, and I don't know what your opinion of this is on Balloon Party, you know, and I try to explain it, but I don't know if it resonates with me. So I call him a kid. It turns out he was your age. He was 25. And we got on the topic of this guy was majoring in mass communications. Remember that yesterday? The guy who emailed or texted in?
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? Back in the day, and this is the truth, Joe Buck and Frank Cusimano, in a major way, I can't say it enough, were so helpful. Rich Gould, Malcolm Briggs, guys at the time, I guess I knew Rich because I interned for him, were so helpful. Brian Nooner, Chris Trevino, guys in Columbia at the time, were so helpful that anytime somebody emails me, a younger person who's interested in the business, Bob Ramsey, I want to go out of my way to do what those guys did for me 20 plus years ago. And so I got on the phone with that guy as I was leaving the station, and he was asking me some questions about the broadcast industry, and I'm dead serious, and I'm like, oh my God, who did he talk to before? He goes, are you like able to like pay for your rent at your apartment, and you know, do you have to take money out? I go, oh God! I go, if you're really thinking this, why in the world would you pursue this industry? I felt terribly for him. And I said, no, you can, you know, now listen, not everybody is going to make a nice living, but, you know, it can be done. And whoever told you that you might not be able to make rent payments is probably not the person you want to get.
You do it for the love of the take.
Yeah. Going, oh, my God. But what I noticed with the Balloon Party audience, so as far as compensation goes, about, for real, 95% of my income is from TMA. Balloon Party is 5%, not including Sound Story. And so it's kind of a neither here nor there thing. I know what the reasoning was for having me do it back then, and I knew I wanted to bring the Cat and Plowhawk over here, and so I was trying to be what did Vince Chase say in Entourage? One for me, one for them. One for me. So that was my one for them. So that's how Balloon Party came to be, even though it wasn't something that initially I was longing to do. And because I go into that studio just being like, it's not that I don't care about the job, but I don't care if I'm liked in any way, that I just give my honest opinions, that for them in that audience, I think they find me refreshing because I don't give a damn. Now, that's not everybody. Plenty hate me. But because I'm just giving honest opinions, that they think most of the time people are covering for the Cardinals or covering for the Blues. And so the reason I bring that up, Plowhawk, is you'll come in there and you'll do something somewhat similar and give opinions that they oftentimes don't hear, in particular on the Cardinals, and you might become their god.
Well, my issue with some of my takes, which are all accurate and awesome,
right?
no offense to our little dog and pony show here, as like legitimate sports talk, would my terrible takes hinder afternoon drive getting Mo or Gershon? I think that would be my only issue is if I, do scorched earth. But I don't think I'll fully do, but I wouldn't.
I think if you keep a criticism professional,
correct,
not go into
it wouldn't be
personal,
fully this, yes.
Then it's fine. And that's my own code. That's up to you, and you may want to discuss that with Tommy. If this is actually Tommy might be listening to this, going, "What are these guys? These guys think they're programming a station? These 5 nitwits think they're programming 101."
And I don't think anybody's calling to get Gershon's here safe there.
Well, I'm just using upper management guest potential as an
Maybe
example.
we could have Gershon with the Rock, Plowsy, and Jackson show.
That would be
There you
great.
go.
Joining us today, Michael Gersh.
I'm dead serious. I think that could wind up being a great show.
I hope.
I swear to you, I do. I'm not just saying it.
I know in the back of your mind you're saying, God, I hope they take off, and then they say, we don't need you, Tim.
Tim, you ever thought about just doing TMA? Yes, I have.
Very nice. It's a very nice read. But when I do think that, so especially, Plowhawk's in his early 30s, Rockio's in his early 30s, Jackson's 25. It's good for new, young talent to come up.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
for sure. Hey, I'm into it, baby. I'm into it.
So I also, I'm dead serious. Like if it were just me and Tommy, I would say the exact thing. And he was talking about doing like a producer's roundtable. So
I think it'd be great.
I think this is the move. Hey, Tim, what is the origin of the balloon party name? That's from the Baldwin Beer Bitch. This is a question that I'm asked, and I tend to about once a month on 101. Joe Strauss, who, for real, I just think and thought the world of when he was writing, because he also, I think, kind of took an approach like, I don't care if people don't like me. This is what I really think, and I'm going to back it up with facts. And this market in particular is used to having people, more often than not, who grew up here, be scared of alienating the readers, listeners, viewers, and so they give the people what they want. They give them best fans in baseball BS, and at the time, Rams BS that they weren't going to move, and Blues BS, and certainly he loved poking Missouri fans, which, it was Missouri fans, and at the time, Blues fans were like these two giant exposed nerves. Now that the Blues have won a cup, it's not nearly as bad as it was when Joe was writing and broadcasting. But his observation on what at the time was the Fox Sports Midwest postgame show following a Cardinals loss was that if they lost, they would spin it and like talk. And I actually did see it last night. I have to be honest. Like, what does it say for this club that they battled back after falling behind 3-0? I'm going, God, I could never do. Like, they could pay me $1 million plus a year, and I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it straight face. I'm like, they lost. They're in last place. We're going to talk about what it says for the club in game 80 that they came back from a first inning deficit. These guys make $175 million. What are they supposed to do? Roll over and go, we'll get them tomorrow? I mean, what are we talking about? So Strauss would then monitor the post-game show, and like if they lost a bad game, they'd show highlights from the 2004 team winning a game, and he would call it a balloon party. And so the Tim McKernan show name was already taken by my podcast, and so it couldn't be that. And Tommy's like, well, what do you want to call it? And he's just like, well, whatever. And I go, how about balloon party? He goes, okay, sounds good to me. And then I'm like, and then I just realized, I have this audience on TMA that is a sliver of the St. Louis, I'm talking about like a sliver of the St. Louis population who knows nothing about these inside jokes, and then we take it to the mainstream on 101 ESPN, and they're like, A, who is this guy? Is this the guy I remember from TV when he was 10? And B, what the hell's a balloon party? This is the stupidest damn name ever. But yeah, that's how the name came, because it was a tribute to Joe Strauss, because I'm like, I loved that he would call attention to that, because it drives me up the wall. Yeah. I also get it. Guys want to keep their jobs, so they play the game, and this isn't limited to St. Louis. This is kind of the as he called it, the Rights Walder Shuffle.
That takes me back.
Plowhawk, that's why you could be a god. This time when I come back from vacation, you could be a god. You could have like a 5-year, 7-figure deal when I come back.
Can you imagine Tommy just reluctantly having to hire me at 101 and be like, okay, I guess the fans want it here. I'm going to take some vacation.
Jackson, this is the moment we spent years preparing for you at Mizzou. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. That's from Jackson sports management professor.
Good guy.
Is that really him?
Yeah, he's a really good dude.
Wow.
Avid listener to both Balloon Party and TMA. Shout out to him. Yeah, I'm ready. The opportunity is knocking, and I'm going to answer.
Is that what he did? Is that what he did in his class? Just steal other people's quotes?
Damn. What quote? That's Michael Scott, Wayne Gretzky.
That's correct.
So I don't think that's borrowed. I think it's used properly there.
I was kidding, Professor.
All right, well, here we go. So it's 9:08. You're going to storm in right now.
Yeah, I got to pee first.
KG No-Town, are you going to capture this on video?
I would love to.
Nice. Tommy's now exiting his
Going down there now?
office.
You can go down there now?
I got one other thing to do, and then, yeah.
Hold on a sec. Before we do
It's
this,
only 9 o'clock.
I want to make sure, a commercial break. I want to make sure, for real, that you want to do this.
Yes, with
You
Rockio
do.
and Plowsy, or Rockio and Marshy Marsh and Plowsy, with a group of people.
Because I don't want to be encouraging you
No,
to
I
do
know.
something that deep down you don't want to do.
No, I
And
think-
then you don't want to say it on the air because you'll feel like you're being a quote-unquote bad teammate.
No, I think this could be really fun.
I think it could be really good.
Okay, yeah, and I
really do.
If not you, who?
Nice. Nice, KG in O-Town.
I mean,
Why not? Why not us?
Yeah, why not us? I've said it forever. Why not us? Why not us? Come in.
All right, there it is.
I have
It's gonna be a big
conviction in
moment.
my voice.
Big
Can you hear it?
moment. Plowhawk, what do you think's going to happen?
Oh, I think some fun stuff going to happen. I can't really fully tell
That's the
you
promo.
the reactions.
Coming up next week.
There'll be positive and negative reactions.
Well, I can promise you that.
Yeah.
That's just the nature
But
of
no,
the
but
beast.
you could bring in Howard Stern and there'd be positive and negative reactions.
That's correct.
So,
That's-
and I'm very similar to Howard Stern.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Very similar. All right, big moment here.
I'm going to wear my Dexter Fowler jersey, I think.
Yeah, just to get in the mood.
Because when
That's
I'm
gonna
on
be
my
on
Mo
YouTube.
rant, I'll be like, hey, look at one of these players that you
Yeah,
signed.
you can wear a Leak jersey one day, a Brett Cecil jersey one
Andrew
day.
Miller.
They would love that.
Yeah, I got to get that Cecil one washed.
All right, send your emails in for the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email today. It comes your way at 9:45. This is the Ryan Kelly Morning After from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
Urban Dictionary defines thirsty as purposely, knowingly, and recklessly attempting to gain fame to boost self-esteem. So, are you thirsty? Well, TMA has you covered. Become a part of the 2023 TMA Listener of the Month Club. You nominate yourself for a monthly award. And if you win, you get recognition and stuff to help you satisfy that insatiable thirst. We're talking January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, etc. Go to TMASTL.com or the TMA app. Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information. Tell us why you deserve to be TMA Listener of the Month. And if you don't want to use your real name or photo, we don't really care. The TMA Listener of the Month. Get recognized just for being you, or fake you, or whatever. Quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to the brighter side of tequila with Milagro in the morning after on KPNT HD2.
Okay. Hot takes.
Yeah.
Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini.
And now the Pepperoncini Show with Darren Atkins and Ken Strode. All right, take it, fellas.
There it is. That's the open.
Pepperoncini.
Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini.
We don't know what it is. We don't understand the name. We just know it's stupid. And it's available every weekday, featuring Iggy and the Plowboy. Apparently it's some kind of a podcast or something. Available at TMASTL.com and on the TMASTL mobile app. Whatever. The Tim McKernan Show podcast, featuring long-form interviews with people from the world of sports, politics, and entertainment.
And our guest today, Bill McClellan. Thanks so much for coming in.
Hey, my pleasure, Tim.
What's up, Caden?
Hi, how are you?
Joe Buck, our guest today.
Man, it's like I haven't seen you in years.
More than 500 episodes and counting, and it's available wherever you get your podcasts, including the TMA STL app. Get the app now at TMASTL.com.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan. I am here with a wonderful sponsor of TMA, and that is Longo Biggs Injury Law Firm. And this is something that I experienced, as a matter of fact, years ago. If you get a call from an insurance agency, if you were in an accident, they are not necessarily working on your side. Isn't that right?
Yeah, Tim. I mean, in almost every case, there's going to be an insurance company involved. You know, they typically insure whoever caused the injuries to you by the person or the business that caused it. And unfortunately, from the moment your case begins, the insurance company is actually working against you, trying to minimize their payout. You might get a call from like somebody who seems like to be a really nice person who's just trying to see how you're doing, but their goal is actually to get some information out of you to turn around and use it later to show that you're not as hurt as you actually are. Insurance companies have specialized systems and thousands of workers who follow a playbook to pay you as little money as possible when you're hurt. This is Doug Biggs, and my injury law firm hates insurance companies and their deceitful tactics, and we'll make a fair fight out of it. Visit our website or Google Longo Biggs Injury Law.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Ryan Kelly, the home loan expert, is with us. Ryan, you know we always have a soft spot in our heart for the military. I know you have done a lot to help the military over the years. What can you do to help them buy a home?
Oh, you're not kidding. We definitely at the homeloanexpert.com appreciate all of the sacrifices that our service members have made over the years and continue to make to protect our freedoms and so we can live in this wonderful country that we have. And that's why we created the Hero Loan. You know, if you have served in the military or one of your family members has served, you know about the VA loan, probably one of the best benefits of being in the military. The idea that you can buy a house legit with no money down. You can buy a house up to $2.5 million at the Home Loan Expert for no money down using your VA benefits. The problem in the past was there just wasn't a good lender doing VA loans, so they got a really nasty taste, you know, but that's all changed. We can close VA loans in as little as 14 days. Think about that when you're talking about a refinance or a home purchase. Get the loan you deserve today by visiting HeroLoan.com, the only way to VA.
Hello, it's Jackson for Rosalita's. TMA listeners know that Rosalita's Cantina has the best patio and the best Tex-Mex in town. From tableside guac to piled high nachos, the amazing menu at Rosalita's is full of classic Mexican dishes. Plus, it's always time for a margarita, and Rosalita's has the most delicious house and specialty margs in town. Enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 6, and let Rosalita's cater your next event. Check out rosalitascantina.com or visit the downtown or DePere location today. Time to get your fiesta on at Rosalita's.
For one Saturday only, July 8th, come test drive and buy a car from Iggy, yes, Iggy, at Munganess St. Louis Acura in Manchester. From 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., enjoy a meet and greet with the honorary salesman of the day, Ken Iggy Strode. And yes, by the way, he'll be signing autographs. Glossies have been made. For every car purchased, Munganess St. Louis Acura will donate $200 to the Megan Meyer Foundation, creating a world where bullying and cyberbullying no longer exists. Support a TMA advertiser and a great cause all at the same time. Saturday, July 8th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Munganess St. Louis Acura on Manchester. Find out more at tmastl.com.
Disconnect from the daily grind with something far more powerful. The oceans and lakes around you. The Yamaha 2023 Wave Runner lineup offers everything, including the Built for Fun EX Series, the race-ready GP Series with performance-enhancing technology, and the top-of-the-line FX Series. Chase a thrill or find an escape with Yamaha Wave Runners, designed to bring you closer to everything you love about the water. Get your 2023 Yamaha Wave Runner at Big St. Charles Motorsports, located on I-70 at Cave Springs in St. Charles, Missouri.
Driving the ball 300 yards is cool and impresses your buddies, but scoring amounts to getting the ball in the hole. Thus, the best way to lower your scores is to improve your short game. If you want a golf green that putts true and gives you real grass performance when practicing chips, pitches, and bunker shots, the only company to call is Clubhouse Turf, St. Louis's exclusive partner of Celebrity Greens. Each Clubhouse Turf signature green is unique in design and can create your own backyard golf experience that your family and friends will enjoy for years to come. Call Clubhouse Turf today at 314-802-6229. Or visit them online at clubhouseturf.com.
Hey, if you like the morning after, check out Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. HD1, by the way. It's sports talk with Tim McKernan and Ashton Jackson from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. each weekday, right after the morning after. It's the worst named show in the history of radio, but the content's pretty good, so check it out on 101 ESPN or get the podcast on the TMA app. Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
I'm gay. Now.
The Ryan Kelly Morning After.
KPNT-FM HD2.
Collinsville, St. Louis.
Wow, wow, wow. Blow, Johnny, blow.
Is this another Teen Wolf song?
No, should be.
That is.
Oh, come on, Jackson.
Thank you, KG and O-Town.
Can you imagine the sex scene at Teen Wolf, NC-17 version?
It sounds like something it would be
playing
in Teen Wolf.
This isn't the jam? You didn't dance to this at Horton Watkins 7 years ago?
No.
What a miss.
I wonder what the slow song would have been.
Boof and Michael J. Fox.
Yep.
Probably sung by Adele.
Listen to Ralph. And then the pitch change when Johnny Gill comes in, because Ralph is up here. What is that? Is that a soprano? Is that a soprano? Is
The,
you think so?
the higher one, soprano, I think.
And then what's Johnny? Baritone? Bass in your face?
Alto? Vibrato?
Nice.
I don't know. Who sings this tune?
Wow. If we were in the 101 studio, I'd gun this bottle across the studio. Listen. This puts us in perspective. You play this at Wheelhouse tomorrow night?
Yeah, I'm spinning records. My tank top's in the dry cleaner. Who sings the tune?
New Edition.
Okay.
There's Ralph again. Watch it. I'd love to get to the end where Johnny just goes off. I got to be honest with you, I have no idea how this happened. The crap my 5-year-old and I watch, for real. I think it's good. I know virtually no other parent would think it is, but I really think it's good. I really do. Because my mom would like freak out when there would be nudity in a movie and like stand in front of the TV, and I think that played a role in me being a pervert, which I'm happy to be, for the record.
Mm-hmm. Proud.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily think it's perverted. I just think it's comfortable with sexuality. But I also wonder if it's because that was the forbidden fruit that then I became more interested in it because it was the forbidden fruit. Do you follow me?
Yeah, nurture
so that if you
nature.
don't demonize something, then it isn't a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with that said, so I'm sitting in the basement and I'm rewatching Entourage right now with a 5-year-old.
Strong.
And I don't know how great of an idea that is, but I'm good with it. And for whatever reason, the New Edition, which is a 3-part movie story on BET, popped up last week, and he wanted to watch it, and I was very proud.
Good. That's great.
And so I was watching the film. You know, Bobby Brown takes a couple of unfortunate turns, and he wanted to see what they looked like now, and so I typed in "Can You Stand the Rain" on YouTube, and there was a performance. Now, Michael Bivins wasn't there, Ricky Bell wasn't there, Ronnie DeVoe wasn't there, and Bobby Brown wasn't there. But there was Johnny Gill and Ralph Tresvant performing that very jam, and I was alarmed by how bulky and out of breath Johnny Gill was, and it really wrecked me. My son didn't know any better, but I saw Johnny Gill, and then for about 5 minutes he began preaching the word of the Lord in the middle of the song and scolding the audience.
Oh, that's good stuff right there.
And I thought, boy, this isn't the rub you the right way Johnny Gill anymore. This is a different man out there. And I'm like, man, how old is he now? And he's almost 60. And I go, well, I guess that's kind of what happens.
Yeah.
You know, you probably aren't getting a chance to work out. The metabolism goes down, and there's Johnny screaming at the audience about repenting in the middle of "Can You Stand the Rain," which I believe is a double entendre for other liquids.
Yes.
Your thoughts are welcome on New Edition, 314-881-TMA5, and that's the EDF group text inbox. Email in for our design, air, heating, and cooling email the day, the morning after at InsideSTL.com. Jackson, in the commercial break, you stormed into Hubbard, St. Louis, Vice President of Programming Tommy Mattern's office and demanded that when I'm on vacation over the next couple of weeks, Balloon Party is not only yours, it's the Plowhawks and it's Matt Rocchio's. How did it go?
So Tommy wasn't in his office, which could have been strategic, but he was not in his office, so I didn't get my chance. But there'll be another opportunity, and I'll let him know. And I'll come in just very positive and say, hey, I'd like to do the show. I got an idea, Rocchio, Plowhawk. I think it could be really good, and I'd like to do it.
Maybe Tommy's listening and call in.
He's probably picking up a fifth. He's like, okay, this could be a long week.
How about this email I got during the commercial break? Hey, Tim, unfortunately, no stories of lesbianism. I just wanted to say how great Jackson has been as an addition to the show. Feel free to forward this to him if you'd like. Feel free to forward. That's a lot of F's. Feel free to forward this to him if you would like. His quick wit, Mizzou love, NBA takes, and I don't really care response to texters' snarky comments just meshes with the show so well. I hope he is part of the show moving forward. Oh, I didn't know you were up.
I'm here.
I listen to the show daily.
Player option.
I'm resigning.
I listen to the show daily. I've worked remotely since 2015, and TMA literally fills the place of office morning banter. You, in caps, are my coworkers. Even Iggy and his tangent stories with the Bowery Boys. I've often wondered how I'd keep myself entertained when Doug or yourself eventually call it quits. Jackson gives me hope. Jackson is the future. Jackson for president. Kisses, Icky Peter. How about this? The people are building you up this morning.
Shout out Icky Peter, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the kind words. It means a lot to me. And your confidence in me only gives me more confidence to do what I do. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate it.
Not so much an endorsement on me and Plausi, but...
Oh, I've reached my peak. I mean, you know what I mean?
I think you're about to just become, right now, here's what you are. You're Wyndham Clark. I know you're playing well. Most people don't. And I think when you go to a course like LA Country Club, it's going to suit your game. And 101 ESPN is LA Country Club, and everybody's going to find out who Wyndham Clark is over the next couple of weeks.
I like that. And also, I think one of the segments, I'm going to go into that recruiting ranking that Drink has, that powerhouse he's building.
Let me tell you something. There aren't a lot of Missouri fans that are listening.
All
So
right.
no, that's good though. Then you'll bring those people to you.
Yeah, I'll have to represent.
You're a
those.
618 guy. Jackson goes off on the 618. If it's not Central Corridor, Jackson hates it.
And I'm like J.J. Spawn, just puttering around making bogeys. Idiot.
Jackson already failed to deliver. That's from Mr. Big Cream.
Yeah,
well, Tommy wasn't in the office.
It's tough to ask an empty chair. Like Clint Eastwood at the Republic National Convention in 08.
I could have just sat in there and pretended like I was Tommy. We could have faked one.
Fake.
You
Oh,
would have thought people would think you're Tommy?
No, but just to do a fun
like a spoof.
Instagram, I'll pretend like I'm Tommy.
Was it locked?
No, the
No.
door was just the chair was
Oh,
empty.
You didn't like jiggle.
If the door would have been closed, I just wouldn't have. Like, I'm not gonna like disturb. Like, what if he has like an important meeting? I'm like, hey, real quick. Like, it's got to be a right situation.
We were getting together to talk actually about my vacation yesterday. And I walked up and I saw the doors closed, but there was a little tiny Post-it note and it said, on a call. And I'm like, I think this is for me, because he knew we were supposed to get together right after Balloon Party. And then he came out and I saw it. Was that Post-it note for you? He goes, that's the only thing I could find. So I stuck it on there so you knew that I was on a call. It was this tiny little cryptic. Love it. Jackson NBA takes as a fellow association fan. That's Aaron in the Chuck, and she has nipple rings.
Yeah, boy, if that doesn't give you confidence, I don't know what will. Shout out to Aaron.
How about the compliments coming in here?
I really appreciate it.
I fully agree with Icky Peter. Jackson's a rising star. I've listened since 2008, and he's one of the best you've ever had on the show.
Thank you so much.
Look at this. You're going to go out and have like an MFFFF today.
Yeah, at the very least. Group sex is on the table after all of this pumping of the tires.
The president, Ulysses S. Grant, this isn't against anybody on this program, but he is not a big fan of the texts that we received during Balloon Party. Plowhawk, you might get a chance to read it. Carlos Spicy Winter says, if Piddles takes the reins of Balloon Party while Tim's on vacation, is there any way we can get that text inbox live stream? That's from Carlos Spicy Winter.
We'll be on YouTube, so I guess there'll be a live chat.
Oh, yeah, the live chat. That's what I was telling him about. I told Ryder, who's the executive producer, I said, now how are you handling the live chat? Because I know the Riz show turns off the live chat because it can just get
toxic.
Right. Our live chat, for the most part, I don't really look at it all that often.
Anybody ever argue with each other in there?
It really is kind of not all that rough.
Yeah, it's not. It's a lot of whenever the best is when a bot comes in and they'll ask questions of the bot. They're like, hey, how are you? Have you ever been with a woman? And it's pretty good.
Thank you for that question to those of you in the YouTube show.
It's amazing. I was on, this is probably 2 months ago. Whenever Learn or anybody that I follow that I enjoy goes live on Instagram, whatever, I'll get a notification. I'll pop in and watch. And Learn went live, and
9:26.
There was probably 12 people, 13 people watching, and one guy said, "How cool is Iggy? He's great." And then another guy says, "He's a creep." And these two are arguing back and forth with each other about me on Learn's thing. I felt so bad. I said, "Well, look at this. It's become Iggy's great. Iggy's a dick. He's a creep. Get rid of him. Why do you like him?" I'm like, my God. And she's looking at it like, what is going on here? So it can get banty sometimes. All right, I hijacked. I turned it into me, but But I was proving a point that sometimes they can't get banty with two people start going back and forth with each other, and it just becomes one big thing.
Guys, as a deep tease for next week, if Rockio is one of the hosts, my mic drops will most definitely be strap-on centric. Thank you. That's from Chairman Stephen Wildwood. God, I will absolutely tune in from vacation to hear Stephen Wildwood bring up Rockio taking a strap-on 101 ESPN.
Our show's different. You can't say strap-on 101 ESPN, can you?
I don't know. Probably.
I mean, you can. It's not against FCC, but I just don't know if that's the type of thing that 101 ESPN wants mentioned on their station.
Only one way to find out.
Guys, Iggy's ability to turn any discussion about not him into something about him is truly unmatched. That's from Chicago Ginger. Follow-up, great story and sick flex, Papa. That's from Brian Henshin. Where did the hijack siren go? That's from Jonathan Titsworthy.
Well, I did it because Dennis Charles Upholstery sent one of those emails that we all get.
This dude need to be listener of the month.
It said,
mentions.
It said, why don't you get back to the hijacking? So I did it just for him.
I'm a huge Jackson fan, both because he's a great addition and quite a talent, but also because I know that continuing to read compliments for Jackson is slowly killing Ken on the inside. That's from Arbor Day.
You couldn't be further from the truth, tree hugger. What did I tell Jackson? Where was the last time we were at all together?
Phones me.
Yeah, when I told you you're the best hire Tim's ever made.
How about that?
So I'm a big fan, so you don't know me very well to say something like that, Arbor Day.
Really appreciate you.
Text in what's my best hire been and what's my worst hire been. I'd be curious what the people say.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I legitimately would be curious.
I
think I got some answers.
I'd probably take the lead, I would think.
I think the one you're thinking of, there were some circumstances that led to that. As it turns out, it was a foisting. For those of you who listen to Curb Your Enthusiasm, and two people at said establishment said, yeah, we kind of knew and we're sorry about that, but, you know, it was good for us to get him out of the building. You can text in 314-881-TMA5. Yeah, my best hire, my worst hire. Go ahead. And also call in 636-9004-TMA. I am, too. This is going to be good entertainment. And email it for our design, air, heating, and cooling email of the day. Glenn Betts Jewelers, in business in St. Louis since 1941, operated by the third and fourth generation of the Betts family. The Glenn Betts difference is you are served personally, not sold. Glenn Betts Jewelers develops relationships through generations of your family, too. They get to know your likes, your lifestyle, and who and what you love. The 3 L's, GlennBettsJewelers.com. Located 1 mile east of 270 on Manchester and De Pere. In the jewelry business, there is good, there is better. And then there is Betts. The Betts family passion for serving their customers has been passed down from generation to generation. It's GlennBettsJewelers.com. GlennBetz Jewelers.com. GlennBettsJewelers.com. How about that? Going out there. Or go to Family Golf and Learning Center. I got to go there. Something's wrong with me. And Jackson, you might be involved in the big game tomorrow.
I can't have you have any issues.
Yeah, because you would be exposed financially. For real.
Time.
I went out. I know this is going to sound really weird, and I'm just going to say it and then let the audience react and let you guys react. I went out and played golf with a listener's daughter yesterday.
Good for you.
This sounds like an Iggy story.
Doesn't that sound really weird?
Like, it sounds weird, but it could just be like totally normal. If it's like,
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously,
right.
You know,
right.
For a lot of reasons. Obviously, it's not what it sounds like. Right. But I realized, and then I wound up playing with one of the guys I play with regularly, one of the guys you've played with. Mm-hmm. And I said, I know this. He goes, who are you on the tee sheet with? And I go, I know it sounds weird, but it's a listener's daughter. And I actually thought she was like 12 or 13. And she has an event at the course, and so she just wanted to, and she's a good player, and just wanted to get familiar with the course. And this guy contacted me. I said, I'd be happy to take her out and play a practice round and tell her, you know, some of the spots you want to make sure you are, and some of the spots you want to make sure you're not. And it's, you know, it's a local knowledge thing. And she's 18, and it turns out to be 18, and a 1.5 handicap.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. How about that?
Start using her in some of our scrambles.
That's why I'm dead serious. Like, I have this game that I'm most likely playing tomorrow, and I'm like, yeah, I kind of wouldn't mind having her as my and she played the same tees that we played, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so she played the ladies, the par threes.
Yeah, no, she played the blues.
Now, could she play those tees? Like, say you played a member guest with a 1.3. Could she play the ladies' tees?
I have no idea. I don't know what the rules are, honestly. I don't know. Well, there's a women's member guest and there's a men's member guest. So
you couldn't have a women on your team.
I don't know what the policy is.
Okay.
I don't
Just
believe
curious.
I've seen it in the years that I have played. But point being, a 1.5 handicap and just incredible, her ability to shot shape. And I thought, you know what, maybe that's who I need to have. But I probably shot like an 82 or 83, and if we were playing the normal game, I probably would have lost a lot of money.
Oh, boy.
So I just want to brief you on this if you are playing tomorrow, because you know the kind of money that is exchanged,
Yeah.
and it isn't like $50.
No, it is not. So
if you want to say, I appreciate the invite, I don't want to start we have our 5-day weekend
Yeah.
by losing,
if
I don't know what the hell's going on. At the same time, I shot 2 over and 3 over last weekend, but this is back-to-back rounds in the 80s, and I don't know what the hell's going on. So, and I played kind of crappy against the Pope. The Pope won because he rolled in putts. That is not me making an excuse. He beat me, period. But I didn't play as well as I normally would play. And now I got this going, and I know you're going to be putting some money out there. I mean, it would sting a lot of people, much less a 25-year-old.
And it's going to be 110.
So I'm just briefing you in advance here.
Yeah.
I want you to have full knowledge before making the decision.
I have to think about it.
Right.
Because, boy, my ball striking just is so pitiful. It's so pitiful. Wedge game is outstanding recently. Just really, inside of 70 yards, lethal. But 150 and out, just brutal.
Tim, I worry about Jackson leaving the show because everyone you've hired who possessed any discernible skills left the show as soon as they could. Account Executive Mike, Brian Ray, Sea Monster, Nonling, Gangster Pete, etc. That's from the Birthday Hawk. Jackson, are you leaving the show? Would you like to make an announcement here today?
No. Oh, I'm here.
Sounds like the audience thinks you are.
I'm here and I'm happy.
Well, they left to get out of radio. They didn't like radio. You enjoy radio.
Yeah, I do. I just enjoy good people, working with good people, and I work with good people. And I think that's something that's really important.
Man, you
can't put a dollar value on that.
You missed it when we didn't work with good people. That's when it was really fun.
Yeah, that'll put a man to the test, I can tell you that.
Right.
Guys, did I just hear someone on the show say, oh, women, pure magic? Thanks, that's from the 618.
You should have said it in French.
Oh, women.
Good woman.
Tim, I have a tournament coming up. Can you take me out and I'll help you find your quote-unquote Callaway in the woods? That's from the 636. I went and played golf with a listener's step-uncle yesterday, and I'm really sore. That's from the Angel of the Morning After. Tim, Donnie Most was the best hire, and that terracotta statue Iggy hired for a day with the super last-minute mandatory tip jar was the worst. That's from glove blogger Tom Traven.
She wasn't even. She was.
I didn't hire anybody.
She was outsourced by a third party.
Boy, she's never going to live this down.
Oh, 100% no.
Let's see. Tim, you were your own best hire when you took over ownership of the show. That's from Mr. Big Green. That wasn't necessarily a hire. That was a necessity if the show is going to continue to exist. Email in the morning after at InsideSTL.com. That's coming your way in a matter of moments. If you would like to get some work in, I started talking about family golf, and then I got distracted by myself. That is where you can get some work in, because I need to get some work in. I might have to go and do it today. Iggy, is it going to rain today?
There may be a spot shower.
Yeah. See if I get any now.
I got to go up and play today.
Where are you playing, Plowing?
I don't know.
Did you see Riverside?
No, we're not doing I don't know. Gateway is just easier.
Why don't you play in Tim's event? Tim Levy.
He wants to win money. And I don't blame him.
What's your index? 20-something? Or do you don't have one?
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
That can't.
But you wouldn't want an 18 or 20. You really need that
I don't
honey hole
mind that.
about a 14 or a 12. I think that's where...
The game that we're playing, and Jackson's playing, and it's about birdies. That's where you make your money. And Jackson can pop off a couple per round.
Mm-hmm. In which, that gets you paid for sure.
It's not really necessarily about shoot a 90, but get a couple birdies at the right time, and that's where we make our money. Family Golf and Learning Center is a premier golfing facility for all abilities and ages. Provide a friendly and encouraging practice experience for the individual or the family. Player development includes monthly clinics, adult clinics, summer camps, and private instruction. They have some great instructors there. As a matter of fact, the young lady I played with yesterday has been working with Rob Sidorczyk at Family Golf for a number of years on course programs like ladies leagues, couple leagues, parent-child scramble tournaments. It's where I go with my son, and he gets a chance to play a par 3 course. It's Family Golf featuring a double-decker driving range. It is the best driving range, and I love that short game area. Check it out at familygolfonline.com. Learn, practice, play your best golf. That's Family Golf and Learning Center. And if you want to bring the short game home, then how about working with Clubhouse Turf? John Rahm and Max Homa have done it in their backyards, and now some listeners to this program have done it in their backyards. Driving the ball 300 yards is cool. It might impress your friends, but scoring is all about getting the ball in the hole, and that is where Clubhouse Turf can come into play. The best way to lower your scores is to improve your short game. Call Clubhouse Turf, St. Louis's exclusive partner of Celebrity Greens, Golf Digest Best in Golf, and start improving your game today. They can design just the green or an entire replica of your favorite par 3. Fully customizable layouts from the design all the way down to the speed of the green. Call Clubhouse Turf at 314-834-2339 or visit clubhouseturf.com and let them know you are a TMA listener. It's Clubhouse Turf. And think about it. Piddles, if your wedges are great and the rest of your clubs are lacking consistency, it's likely overturning. Focus on your shoulder to your chin and then your shoulder to your target. Good luck. That's from the KG Lemming.
I get the...
How about that?
Yeah, I get the shoulder to chin, but shoulder to target has me confused. Like, it's which shoulder goes to the target.
This guy's a 30 handicap. Just pay attention.
My right shoulder? My right shoulder on the way through? Because shoulder to chin makes sense. On the turn, you want your shoulder to get right under your chin. That's when you start the downswing.
Iggy says he's a 30 handicap, but don't worry about it.
I don't know. I don't think I'm over. I thought I was underturning. I'm so lost with my... Like, if you hand me a 5-iron and 180 yards away, I mean, I'm just useless. Luckily, I get away with it.
What about a hybrid, baby?
Well, but I have my hybrid 205. So.
Bomber season.
Right. That's the thing. It's so, like, brutal when, like, Tim and I play and we hit the same drive. Like, we'll be in the same distance away. I might even be, like, a couple yards up. And then he'll take 9-iron and I have to take 7 and really muscle it. Like, there's something so wrong about my swing, and I don't know what it is.
I do know what's wrong.
I'm adding loft.
Right.
But I take divots and I hit the ball first.
Shaflean, baby. Shaflean season.
But then I leave the club face open and I block it. It's just so lost. Get me back to 2017. Spring of 2017, I was a real ball striker.
Guys, I love hearing Tim breaking down how valuable Jackson is as a golf partner, knowing how steamed it makes Ken that he wasn't invited. That's from Big Tuft. Iggy was my member guest partner for 2 years.
Well, I don't have the money, so there's no way I could play anyway.
I suppose that's a factor as well. I got to be honest with you. I don't know if necessarily anybody has this kind of money just to lose playing golf. You know,
I don't.
It's not like I'm necessarily like going, oh, good, I dropped, whatever it could wind up being out of my Venmo.
Yeah, boy.
That's why I'm warning you, honestly. Yeah. I was just talking with Keith Krause, our director of sales, and I said, hey, we got this game tomorrow. I don't know if you can play. And he goes, oh, I can't. And I go, but I just warning you, and he's the director of sales. It's anybody. You don't want to invite anybody. I had Jay Boyd out one time, and he played in this game. And I wasn't on that day, and poor Jay Boyd walked out of there and had to be like, God, I thought we were just going out to play golf, and I just got murdered.
Is there any possibility of a late change to a $10 Nassau?
No way. While I was playing with this listener's daughter yesterday, and then one of the guys was playing, and I go, all right, let's just do $10 a hole with carryovers. And it was like I offered to play him for a penny. And I go, I can tell that doesn't excite you. I said, I'm not necessarily, I said, my son's going to be up here with us. I'm not going to be locked in. I'm basically knowing I'm handing you money. Just, play along. So, yeah, if you were to say $10 NASA when $180 wasn't good enough yesterday, imagine how your $30 offer would play.
I just want to, it's going to be hot.
You can't be a ball striker if you're hitting your 7-iron 140 yards. That's from the 636.
Case in point, I'm not currently a ball striker. I was at one point. My only ace was like a 185-yard hole, and I used like a 6-iron. That was back in the ball striking days.
Guys, when are you taking on Patty Maroon and Panger? Well, the Panger thing's out now, man.
Sucks.
Any traction on that idea I threw out at the golf course?
Yeah, when we were walking, playing the Pope. I love that idea. I texted Pat about it, and it's about what his schedule is. I don't know if he has a full-time home in St. Louis anymore. Not to say that he won't after he's done playing. I think he's really found Tampa to his liking, and I think the people of Tampa have really found him to their liking. I don't know if he'll wind up retiring there.
It makes sense. I mean, it's a pretty
He
good
lives
place
in this.
to-
He lives in the neighborhood that Brady lives in. Now, obviously, Brady's home was, what it was, and substantially, But also, Gabbert lives in the neighborhood, and they just drive around on golf carts, and I can't even imagine the,
Sounds fun.
fun and games that go on in that neighborhood. Tim, Pat doesn't. He sold it and lives down in Tampa. Yeah, that's the issue. It's from Chunk and the Chuck.
I wonder if he's going to the Cure tonight.
They're playing Tampa.
My sister.
I thought that was next week.
Tonight. My sister and brother-in-law are going. They got tickets.
Friendly confines to pregame.
Yeah. They got other places to go.
Guys, you guys should play Ollie and Mo. That's from the Huntback of One Cast.
I could see Mo kicking that ball 20 extra yards, bro.
You think he would kick it? What are the rules?
Yeah, and he would mark everybody ball with, his own ascot. Oh, found your ball, Tim.
With an ascot.
And then take off his little sweater.
We'd have to play in November because they'll have a parade down Market Street. And
That's right, the parade down Market.
Yeah, we can
Plus
see-
10,000.
See him making a ton of terrible deals.
The odds
on
for the Cardinals winning the Central, by the way, have dropped to plus 800. How's that
Really?
happening? Yeah.
800?
Well, remember, I got a plus 850.
Yeah.
That's when I bet it.
I thought you said to win the pennant. I was like, oh my god.
No. Disconnect from the daily grind with something far more powerful. The oceans and lakes around you. The Yamaha 2023 Wave Runner lineup offers everything, including the Built for Fun EX Series, the Race Ready GP Series with performance-enhancing technology, and the top-of-the-line FX Series. Chase a thrill or find an escape with Yamaha Wave Runners, designed to bring you closer to everything you love about the water. Get your 2023 Yamaha Wave Runner at Big St. Charles Motorsports, located on I-70 at Cave Springs in St. Charles, Missouri. They are online at BigSt.CharlesMotorsports.com. That is BigSt.CharlesMotorsports.com. And then you should probably think about it if you would like. Apply to be the TMA Lister of the Month by going to TMASTL.com. It is the Milagro Tequila Listener of the Month. And we are coming up on the final day of the month of June tomorrow. And then we will be back on the air on Thursday, July 6th.
6th, yeah.
What's everybody doing on this? What are you doing? Are you going anywhere?
Table Rock. Yeah.
That's right.
Family
Paul, what are you
vacay.
doing?
Not too much.
Iggy, what are you doing? You wanted to go to Tampa.
Yeah. No, my niece always has a 4th of July party for her family and some of the neighbors, and pool party, barbecue. So,
KJ, what are you doing?
I'll go over there.
Oh, I'll be working the other job, just creeping around a little bit.
You creep around at your job?
Oh, those are two separate activities.
Oh.
So it's like I clocked out, now it's time to creep around.
It's creeping season.
Where do you go creeping?
That's the problem. I don't really leave my house, so there's not much creeping to do on my couch.
So how you creep, bro?
I think I'm going to try checking out Tam Avenue Bar a little bit. Maybe take the dog up there.
Yeah, that's a Jackson haunt.
I love that patio.
Great summer spot, man. Very dog friendly.
You want to creep with me, Jackson?
Oh.
I'm out of town, big dog.
Okay.
I hate to break. Yeah, sorry. I apologize, but yeah, I do love going there though. It's pretty close to my place too. So there's that.
We may eat Soha.
Yeah. What are you
Another
doing, Tim?
place right by me.
It is.
I will be flying on Saturday, and we don't leave until late. It's not ideal. But when
late
you're-
Saturday?
Yeah. And then I get the sense my parents have some friends in town, and they keep bringing up getting a babysitter because they're not going to be around. So I kind of feel like this vacation isn't necessarily, first off, I'm doing the show, number one. And then secondly, we're going there. And usually one of the reasons we love going there is my parents are able to watch the boys. And my dad, boy, Timmy, we've been talking about them coming down for a few years, so it's just going to be tough for us to just keep it he just reaches out to just keep reminding me.
You're getting the sense.
And then my older son is, for real, like Scarface with the energy. And he always wants to FaceTime with my dad, and then he just runs around with his shirt off, like fighting stuffed animals. And my dad goes, "Boy, Timmy, this is going to be, you can't have this crap going on next week." And then he gets on the phone with him, and he goes, "Now, they have a guy who walks around the neighborhood making sure all the kids are in bed." And so he'll be checking in the window. I go, "You are horrifying this guy."
Oh yeah, that's scare
Can already
tactic.
tell he's trying to discourage us, I think, from coming down. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. Annyeong. Boots' ability to move from a hijacking to brown nosing is unmatched. Wow, great story, Jackson, but that's enough about you. This one time I stumbled into a Learn Live show, and a couple of guys began arguing over who loved me more. Yep, me. Good old Ken Iggy Strode. Oh, Learn's Facebook page. Crickets. Well, that story flopped, but I'll be damned if I let anyone else carry the conversation. Strap-on chatter is not against FCC violations, but one is such a professional and refined operation, not unlike all the fine FM stations here at Hubbard Radio, that I have to believe it would be frowned upon. And, hey, while I'm talking, the on-air folks don't look too bad either. Hubba hubba. Terrific stuff, morons. Thanks. That's from #1 Asian intern Brian Henshin, who might be Bill's wife.
There you go. Strong start.
Have you read through all of these?
Indeed.
Okay. After yet another disappointing Cardinal loss, I had to head out on the town to blow off some steam. The first neon sign I seen sucked me in like a moth. I bellied up next to an older gentleman wearing a golf hat covering up his beautiful mane that had recently been cut and colored. Conversation was great. His smoker's voice was hypnotizing. I knew I wanted him, and I got the feeling he wanted me. To the parking lot we headed, and right into the back seat of his 94 Grand Marquis. The button fly on my pant, however, gave him fits. Perhaps it was my bulge pressing against it, or maybe it was the tendonitis acting up in his shoulder that he had acquired after falling in the shower. Nonetheless, it was like a Rubik's Cube to him. I aided him undressing me, and I rolled onto my belly with my posterior lifted like a balloon filled with helium. That old man split me like a piece of firewood as he gave me a reach around like I had never felt before. A few Hardy's napkins from the center council came in clutch to clean ourselves up. We parted ways, but my ass being burned in that manner is much better than getting it burned with the 23 Cardinals night in and night out. Thanks and love always. That's from Hammerin' Hank.
Hank, strong. I liked it.
Look, just because Doug's off doesn't mean you turn me into your gay dreams.
Yeah, how about that? That's the first time I think you've ever been topped in the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today.
I'm like a piece of firewood.
I don't want to be part of your gay dreams. Sorry.
Guys, Plops here. Well, looks like the 4th of July is right around the corner. Thanks. That's from Missy Plops. With regards to the Milagro Tequila Listener of the Month, Buzz is a fine choice. But I still think his wife, the Finger Queen, is in play if she submits an application. The competition is indeed more interesting when all it takes is one phone call, especially if it's a female, to win. Buzz certainly put in more work, but Finger Queen was really the MVP in that whole deal. She literally drove up to Chicago early in the morning while her husband pounded Mick Ultras in the car and involved her in this stupid radio show to get in line for 9 hours in order to get on the rail. Pumping breast milk from the pit is hardcore, and then she let those kinky weirdos drink it. Then she was the third base coach putting up the stop sign later that night when she said, "I don't want the doctor inside of me or you." If not for her, caller Buzz's hole would still be gaping from the doctor's handiwork. I appreciate Plowsy respecting the double-digit email win total, but the competition this month has been soft. The emailer formerly known as Dragon Slayer took the month off, and even Kevin Miller has been too busy selling houses to email in lately. As far as the last time someone had double-digit wins, I don't recall it happening, but that's mainly because the reigning emailer of the year, Ellen Foley, emails in as so many different names and Jackson doesn't combine the totals. Like this past March, Ghostwriter to the Stars, Hey Barry, Pockets Full of Batteries, Shop Steward, etc., combined for 11 wins, all written by the same guy. who, of course, didn't submit an application for Listener of the Month, so it went to Henshin's wonderful ASMR ting-ting routine. Happy birthday to my brother Paul. He's not listening, but maybe one of his friends can relay the message. Okay, gotta go now. Buck Swope. And finally, what a glorious return. I'd like to make a statement. Outlander, stones, walls, something about Native Americans in Scotland, stones. Needed you guys to know that. Thanks. That's from Got Off the fan page to focus on KC and WIL's fan pages. And that's what we have for the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email of the day. Iggy, what you got it?
I like it short and sweet. I'm going with plops.
Plops. Jackson.
I got to vote for Buck Swope.
I'm going to have to go by process of elimination here.
I did like the last one.
I think I'm going Got Off the fan page to focus on KC and WIL's fan pages.
I changed my vote. I'm going to the last guy.
No, there it is. Got Off the fan page to focus on KC and WIL's fan page. Plowhawk, where are you going? You're right to go be the speaker.
I'm going to go Plops here.
Plops here would have taken it down. Congratulations to Got Off the fan page to focus on KC and WIL's fan pages. You have won the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email of the day. All right, Jackson, what if I break early and then you can storm into Tommy's office and KG and O-Town will be here to capture it?
Sounds good to me.
Wow. Are you sure you want to do this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just saw a big gulp.
I know. That's kind of why I asked are you sure you want to do this?
Listen, I'm ready.
Tommy's cool.
Yeah, Tommy likes you, Jackson.
You better ask him if he can get filmed first.
Are you demanding
KG
it or
and O-Town
asking?
signing a waiver.
I'm not going to be demanding it.
Are you saying Rockio, myself, and Plowboy are doing this, or are you going to ask?
I'm going to let him know that I would like to, and then I'm very willing and available. But I'm not going to go in and start demanding things. That would be like really weird if I started like going in and demand. It's not really like my thing.
Willing and available.
Kind of just like the hey everybody kind of guy.
I get that. Yeah.
Friendly neighborhood Jackson.
Hey,
That's who you are, the friendly neighborhood Jackson.
Hey TM, how you doing?
Yeah. No, I don't usually throw out the initial. I'll say, hey Tommy.
All right, Jackson's about to make a big career move. Here we go. And the Plowhawk is going to make his debut on 101. And Rocky doesn't even know this is going on. So this is all happening.
We still have to get him to agree to it.
Yeah, that's right.
He'll do it if he'll do it.
Hey, real quick.
Oh, yeah, yes, KG and O-Town. What's going on?
I got some poll results for you.
Oh, what do we got? Wait, hold on a second. What is the poll?
Best and worst hire.
I don't want the worst hire.
I understand.
Okay,
I got you.
Thank you.
But the best hire.
That's why I jumped in immediately.
No. I know. Best hire was a tie between Jackson and Pocket Tube.
Exactly how it should be.
Pocket Tube was actually
it was a 5-way tie with Jackson, Pocket Tube, me, yourself, Tim, Donnie Most, and I wrote EDL, but now I don't remember what
Evil
that's.
David Letterman.
Oh, David
there
Letterman.
we go.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
I don't think Tim hired you though.
He pushed for me.
I continue to push. And I didn't hire Evil David Letterman or Donnie Most either, to be honest with you. Or
Everything
myself.
okay over there,
Did I? What's going on, Plow?
No,
You're doing We Are the World.
I know.
I thought it was going to be a short one, so I just wanted to put it to my ear instead of putting them on.
Oh, okay. This is a wild.
I'm making a phone call real quick. Give me a second.
All right, time for us to shut it down. Jackson and I are going to get our asses ripped on Balloon Party, driven by Munganess, St. Louis Acura, and Alton Toyota. For the Plowhawk, for KG at O-Town, for Kenneth Iggy Strode, for Jackson filling in, for Douglas Elvin Vaughn, I'm Tim McKernan. This has been Ryan Kelly, Morning After from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
This is Doug Biggs from the Longo Biggs Injury Law Firm, and I want to talk to you about what happens when you get in a car accident. Hopefully.